One on ESPN television right now. First quarter in Milwaukee for the Bucks and the Celtics, and it's Milwaukee up 5 about 8 minutes in. Coming up, game 2 between Brooklyn and the Utah Jazz. James Harden listed as questionable due to a sore back, but listening to him last night after scoring 25 points and having 17 assists in Portland, there's no question in his mind.
In basketball, everything isn't going to be perfect. You know, whether it's playing through injuries or playing banged up. I love the hoop. I love to be out there and being there for my teammates. I feel like if I'm on the court, my teammates have a better chance of winning.
That's the Nets' James Harden. ESPN radio coverage. Brooklyn and Utah begins 9:30 p.m. Eastern on the ice in the NHL. The Bruins are back practicing after postponing 2 games because 5 players were in COVID-19 protocol. Boston scheduled to host the New York Islanders on Thursday night. In the NFL, ESPN's Adam Schefter reports T.Y. Hilton will re-sign with the Colts, a 1-year deal. He spent his entire career to this point in Indianapolis. And the Patriots are re-signing running back James White to a 1-year deal. And ESPN's Mike Reese says the Pats are finalizing a 4-year deal to re-sign defensive tackle Lawrence Guy. ESPN baseball insider Jeff Passan says the Astros are extending the contract of pitcher Lance McCullers. The deal, 5 years for $85 million.
Thursday, it's the NBA trade deadline, and we will get you set. Will any move be made that changes the balance of power, changes who's going to win the title? Find out with me, Greeny, starting 10 a.m. Eastern on ESPN Radio and ESPN+.
Isn't this a sports show?
So I got a haircut yesterday, 2 days ago. I also brought the beard in a little bit today.
Ooh.
And so this is basically, I'm just waiting for the guy that said I looked fatter on Facebook than I sound on the radio.
Almost entirely.
Just come back now. It was mostly fluff. Facebook commenter.
This is Almost Entirely Sports with Joshua Brisco.
He also called into the postgame show at one point, and he's cool. Mom, please stop bullying that guy. It's fine.
Not a joke.
Not a joke. Not a joke. None of what I just said was a joke. Every single syllable was a real thing.
Take the show with you by listening on the Sports Radio 810 mobile app at 810WHB.com or by searching for Almost Entirely Sports wherever you get your podcasts.
That was bad. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry, but it was bad. There it is. Hold on. Let me change that. That was bad. I admit it. I'm not sorry.
This is Almost Entirely Sports on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Boy, howdy, we got some things to talk about here today, huh? Some things have happened, and maybe some things have not happened that are even more interesting over the last several days that we have not had an Almost Entirely Sports for you here on Sports Radio 810. I'm Joshua Brisco. I'm here. He's Rudy Salazar. He's here. He's Beards McFly. He's on the other side of the glass, but he's here also, and so are you, dear listener. And you know what? I don't say this often enough, but thank you for being here along with us. I apologize in advance if you are one of the people that I'm going to get sort of unrealistically mad at over the course of the next several minutes. It's not personal, but it is legitimate. We've got the first 2 rounds of the NCAA tournament in the books. We have most of our Poke Brackets first round in the books. There's still one quadrant left. I didn't get to it today. Now, there's currently no active voting on our Poke Bracket, but there have been some upsets. There have been a lot of important conversations about them. Hopefully tomorrow and Friday we'll be able to dig in a little more on some of the real controversies that have sprung from our Pokemon bracket that we finished last week.
There's no controversy. You two were both just wrong about Tauros.
No, Tauros is the worst Pokemon. I've moved him to 151 in my overall rankings. Not 150. Jinx is still not allowed for postseason consideration, but Tauros is 150 in my mind. But we'll talk about some of those things. We'll talk about KU's exit from the tournament, Mizzou's early exit from the tournament, some of the, if you will, madness that has come this March. I don't know if you guys caught what I was doing there.
I don't get it.
I'll explain when you're older. But that has all been good. I'll tell you what's been great. Being at the top of the leaderboards, Rudy. I think you're one ahead of me in the AES tournament challenge group. I think I'm one ahead of you on the 8-10 one somehow.
I think that seems correct.
I don't know what happened there, but here's the real thing. If you've listened to Almost Entirely Sports ever, you know the one thing that we say about this show consistently. Nobody on this radio station knows college basketball like Almost Entirely Sports, except for Beards, who is currently losing to, as he so artfully put it, a stuffed wiener dog and an improv character, and is getting absolutely curb stomped by an uninterested 11-year-old. And Beards, I
was
think,
an uninterested 28-year-old, so that about makes sense.
you also like basketball at least more
I
than
just
I
don't really
do.
watch much college this year other than KU.
That's why they say nobody at Sports Radio 810 watches more college basketball than Josh and Rudy. Nobody. No, maybe nobody in America. I'm in like the 99th percentile on ESPN right now, and it's hilarious to me.
It's hard to say.
It's literally the night.
I've watched so much of that West Coast Pac 13 now.
Listen,
is that what they're at?
Yeah. I think that's right.
Pac 13
Listen,
basketball.
I tried telling you, Loyola Chicago, no joke. I told you, UCLA and Syracuse, baby. I had that.
Yeah.
What was my? Oklahoma State in the Final Four. That one didn't work out. But Oral Roberts, listen.
Here's the thing: we all picked to have at least one bad one in there.
I was getting Dr. Professor to fill out their bracket, and the really crushing thing about it is, for reasons that really I don't think anyone could speculate, she thought that the name of the sort of Cinderella 15 seed of this tournament was funny in some way. Maybe she thinks the name Robert is a humorous name. I don't know. But she saw they were a 15 seed and then picked against them, and it would have been so good if she would have just risen to the top of the bracket challenge just on the giggles of Oral Roberts. Would have been so good to have Morehead State and Oral Roberts both making Cinderella runs. So funny. Why? No one knows. Because they're the Eagles? I don't know. I think that's Morehead State. It looks like an eagle. I've already forgotten.
What's Oral Robert? I feel like they're a bird, aren't they? I have no idea. I'm not gonna lie. No idea.
I mean, I've watched them play multiple basketball games now.
Abilene Christian saw that coming. I didn't. I didn't even know they had like 4 guys from Kansas City on their roster.
Listen, Boeheim and those boys with the zone. Are you kidding me? Syracuse? Whoosh! Who saw that coming? But
I've learned my lesson. Never doubt Jim Boeheim and Buddy ever again. Just never doubt him. I've learned my lesson.
Freaking kid's named Buddy. Are you kidding? Of course he was gonna be riding a heater.
His kid's named Buddy. He's in college.
His name's Buddy.
And Jim is like 76.
Yeah.
His name is Buddy Boeheim.
Yeah, it is a good name. The point that Rudy, I think, was getting
is
at.
76.
Oh, I know.
Minus like 22, maybe from there. 21. I don't know how old Buddy is. How old can you be and still be Buddy? Can you be Buddy when you're 35? Like at what point do you become Bud?
See, I think it's a thing where there's very early on where you can be Buddy, and then there's a long gap where you can't be. But then once you reach a certain age again, then it comes back around. You can be Buddy again. He's kind of in the middle right now, though.
I don't know why Rudy's out here hating on Jim Boeheim.
I'm not hating on Jim Boeheim
and his
buddy
and the success of his buddy.
He just needed a best friend.
He's a junior, by the way.
Oh, we got to deal with him for another bleeping year. You kidding me?
I'm picking them to win the national title next year.
It's gonna be a nightmare.
Heck,
Also,
one more year. This year's a pass. He's got 2 more years.
Oh, you're so right.
You think Buddy's not going to be here like for the full 5-year experience?
Can we get an investigation into if Buddy Boeheim got some illicit benefits?
So here's the thing.
To go to Syracuse.
Here's the thing. When he went on an official visit, you know who paid for dinner? Wasn't Buddy.
No.
It was the head coach of the basketball program. And he was doing that every night for 18 years.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's exactly right.
He gave him a home to live in.
He was that. Oh man, I mean, there's
He
so
paid
many,
for a whole home.
so many violations. Syracuse right now just riddled with NCAA violations.
Don't worry though. I think the NCAA got them good when I think it was today that they announced. I forget the exact details, but I think it was a restaurant in Syracuse or in the area. What basically was raising money with the help of Buddy Boeheim to donate to charity.
Yeah.
And the NCAA stepped in and made sure that, hey, that stopped. This is illegal.
They were biscuits or cookies or donuts or something. It was like a bakery.
You cannot raise money for charity.
No.
Because, it's just.
Because you're an amateur.
Yeah.
You're an amateur.
Thank God. Thank you,
They
NCAA.
give you charity and education.
Thank you, NCAA. To give them credit, at least they handled the women's side of the tournament perfectly clean so far.
You are
Killing
an
it.
amateur unless you're a woman playing college basketball, in which you're technically actually listed as an afterthought.
I don't know what's below amateur, but
An afterthought.
Yeah.
Afterthought is what I was going to go for there. The Chicago Bears, just before we get into the Chiefs' problems, I do want to take a moment as kind of a heat check here. Chicago Bears have tweeted out a Photoshop picture of Andy Dalton in a Bears uniform.
I was trying to figure out who that was.
The only caption is QB1.
I gotta say, he looks good in the uniform though. The colors pop. The red hair with the orange.
If he takes
it
that
pops.
helmet off, oh, that's a great point.
He looks good in the Bears uniform. You know what they say? Look good, feel good. Feel good. Maybe you'll play good, but who really knows? But at least you'll look good.
Play like Andy Dalton. Get paid like Andy Dalton.
And if you play bad, at least you can like look in the mirror and be like, good looking guy.
I don't know if anyone is a better match for. I'll take recommendations on this. I'll let anybody who wants to chime in, whatever. We've got our actually, I haven't seen the video. I imagine our comment section thing is working still today.
Is.
Excellent.
I forgot to pop up the chat though.
I will. I'll take recommendations, but I don't think there's any quarterback in football who seems like a more. I don't even know how you would judge this. But I believe it to be true, who is a better fit to his team aesthetically than Andy Dalton to the Chicago Bears. Mm-hmm. As a failure of an organization at the quarterback position, aesthetically with the color pop. His hair is the accent color. By the way, Andy Dalton.
Mediocrity at its finest.
Absolutely at its finest. And Andy
By
Dalton.
both organization and quarterback.
If you delete the Cowboys thing, Andy Dalton went from the orange Cincinnati Bengals to now having the accent color to go with the Bears. He at least, I don't know if he's a good, well, he's not. He's not a very good quarterback, but his aesthetic eye for his future teams, impeccable.
I have a contender.
Okay.
Mason Rudolph.
I don't know. I think I might even say Ben Roethlisberger. Ben Roethlisberger feels like Pittsburgh, you know? I think Mason Rudolph looks like the quarterback for, like I think he should be the Patriots quarterback, aesthetically. He seems like Boston's quarterback for reasons that, as I've said out loud, I realize are even more applicable now that I think about it.
Oh man,
it's gonna be hard to knock Andy Dalton off of that top spot for quarterback to city aesthetics.
Yeah, it will be.
But I'm open to it. Because see, here's the issue: you can't just go like Joe Flacco, because Joe Flacco in Baltimore does not add up. But you connect him to Baltimore. Because that's where he was.
That's where he was.
It
was like Stafford and Detroit. I wouldn't say Stafford symbolized Detroit.
No, because Stafford in LA makes way more sense.
He was there forever.
Right? Yeah. Stafford's still kind of a babyface little boy.
Philip Rivers didn't symbolize San Diego. San Diego's way too chill.
Yeah,
but he was there.
Exactly.
He was there forever.
Matt Stafford and Philip Rivers should have flipped.
Ooh, you know who might be pretty good?
I'm listening.
Josh Allen. There's a little bit of Buffalo. Like Josh Allen would jump through.
That's not bad.
Josh Allen jumped through tables in high school.
That's not bad. Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah. With like maybe like, or wait, no, that wasn't Josh Allen. That was his backup. I was about to say a little bit of racial undertones. But that was his backup.
Yeah, was
Jake
that
Fromm?
Yeah.
Not Josh Allen.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Here's the last one that I'll say because his time is running out. This is actually, I think, my new winner, and then I have to talk about what the Chiefs have done and haven't done. Gardner Minshew is Jacksonville.
Yeah.
Gardner Minshew is, if you dropped a dry sponge into Jacksonville and then put it under a heat lamp, Gardner Minshew would grow from that.
Yeah.
It's going to be so sad for him to go be a Niner. Are you kidding me?
Jacksonville just has to make him their backup quarterback from now
They
until
just
the
signed.
end of eternity.
They just signed one of those dorks from San Francisco. They just gave Beathard like $5 million.
Let Beathard be the starter.
Just
Gardner's
pass on.
your backup.
Just
keep Gardner.
Draft Sewell to protect Beathard and Minshew.
You don't even have to play him. He just has to be on the team. He can be.
I want him to be the starter.
Third string. I mean, here's the thing. It's better when he's a starter, but he has to at the very least be on the team. Like, because you are right. He is everything that Jacksonville is.
Yeah.
I don't think you've ever seen I now forget what the TV show's called, but you obviously know the movie The Evil Dead.
Yeah.
So they made a TV show out of it. I forget.
Ash versus the Evil Dead.
Ash versus the Evil Dead. Yes. And it's the start of season 2 or 3, basically, where it starts off in Jacksonville. Because that's like Ash's, like, that's his dream, right? It's I'm going to retire and I'm going to go to Jacksonville. And you could have just put Gardner Minshew in that opening scene, and you'd have been like, yeah, Gardner belongs here. This is Gardner.
I'm taking one last scroll down just a sportslogos.net page, just seeing if anything else jumps out to me.
I'll add a little to that. It's Minshew with a mustache.
Oh,
If
yeah,
he
the full
shaves-
handlebar.
If he
Yeah, yeah,
shaves the mustache, then like he can kind of go just about anywhere. But him with the mustache is just that is 100% Jacksonville.
Kirk Cousins, Minnesota is not bad.
It's not bad.
He might
You
be
like
he might
that?
be bronze.
Yeah.
He might be the bronze medalist.
His form of trash
Minshew,
talk
Dalton.
is saying you like that.
Yeah, that's exact. Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
hey, I'm sorry, but you like that, right? Like that's how Kirk Cousins trash talks.
That's pretty good. I don't hate that. In fact, you could say that I like that. I think
Sorry
those
for
are,
making that assumption.
well, also, by the way, Tom Brady in Tampa, like the Florida thing. Florida's got
Going to
two
retire.
good- yeah, he just went to Tampa to retire, and also was loving is loving life down there.
Well, this is the first time that he's been like
Happy and then warm
Tom
weather.
Brady right now is basically living his college years because in college he was so focused on like I'm sure everybody I got to prove everyone wrong when I get to the NFL. Tom Brady right now is like, oh, so this is what college was like.
Yeah,
it's pretty good. Big man on campus now, and he's got Gronk, who just amplifies that experience.
We also at some point tonight, hand to God, at some point tonight, we are going to talk about cinnamon toast shrimp. And I have to imagine that you guys both know what I'm referring to. There are some more details to that I discovered today that are the worst thing in the world that will eventually have to make an appearance. But here's what we've done, and here's what I think we're going to do. An unprecedented break before the 30-minute mark. We have returned. Whoa. We have returned from the show. But also, last night, as you may have heard right here on Sports Radio 810, Tim Spurl and I did the radio broadcast for Sports Radio 810 of the NAIA National Championship game. I got stuff from that. I enjoyed myself, even though it was a very sort of out-of-the-box radio experience for me. We've got stuff from it. We have so many things we're going to talk about over the next couple of hours. Oh, and I got a Top Shot pack. 5 cards. We're opening that at 8 o'clock. So we've got Top Shot. We've got Nick Schwerdt of KLWN to talk about KU losing to USC in outrageous, like in USC KU football-esque margin of loss situations. We'll talk to Nick at 9. That sounds good. We'll talk to Nick at 9. Top Shot at 8. Bracket stuff. Poker bracket stuff. All sorts of madness from March. Cinnamon toast shrimp. I got a story about a horse vigilante that I would like. Well, no, it's a human being. I would like to talk about that at some point over the course of the night. But the main thing today is not what the Chiefs did, but what the Chiefs still to this point have not done, and also the latest reason that I'm finding myself really, really frustrated and honestly disappointed with Chiefs Twitter. That is next.
Want more Almost Entirely Sports? Watch the show live on the Sports Radio 810 Facebook page.
What if you could get world-class wine at an affordable price delivered right to your door in the safety of your own home? Cameron Hughes Wine has a unique business model, sourcing top-rated wines directly from the best wineries around the world. Cameron Hughes Wine is your personal sommelier, insider, and wine buyer. Currently available in limited quantities. Lot 747 Russian River Valley Pinot Noir, a smooth, savory gold medal Pinot from one of the best producers in California wine country at $16 a bottle. It's less than half of what you'd normally pay for this wine under its original label at the tasting room. And they have great news because today Cameron is offering a deal exclusively for 810 listeners. 20% off and free shipping on 3 or more bottles. All you have to do is enter the code NATE at checkout. Save money and drink the best wine. Go to chwine.com today to get 20% off the already great prices and free shipping when you buy 3 or more bottles. Just enter the code NATE at checkout. That's chwine.com with the code NATE for 20% off 3 bottles or more plus free shipping. Great wine, great prices delivered right to your door in the safety of your own home.
It's been called incredible, a car lover's definition of nirvana. The Aristocrat Motors pre-owned department. Choose from over 150 cars, sports cars, SUVs, and trucks. Enjoy the finest, most professional buying experience in the city. Aristocrat Motors has the car that will work for you and the car that will fit your needs. From Alfa Romeo to Volkswagen, they're your home for quality. Aristocrat Motors, I-35 and Shawnee Mission Parkway, or online at aristocratmotors.com.
Okay, so you met the love of your life. She's dropped all the hints, and you're totally committed. Now what? Come to Shane Company and get the ring. You gotta experience a visit to Shane Company. Get to the store or go online and see what it's all about. You won't believe all our ring settings. Those halo rings she's been liking on Instagram? Yeah, we got those. Classic solitaire rings? We've got those too. Whatever it is she loves, in every price range, it's here. Not really sure? We'll help you figure it out. With our huge assortment of always natural, always ethically sourced diamonds, rubies, and sapphires, you'll have tons of options to create a ring that's so her. Our non-commissioned jewelry consultants will help you get an awesome ring that fits your budget, whether you come into the store or go online. You can even book an in-store or virtual appointment. We'll make sure her engagement ring is perfect. And the proposal? Well, that's where you get to shine.
Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and shaneco.com.
Stop into Mr. Brew's Tap House in downtown Overland Park or Lawrence this weekend to watch all the basketball. Overland Park and Lawrence's newest pubs are having great specials for the big games. Mr. Brew's Tap House has over 30 beers on tap and multiple TVs to catch all the games. Happy hour pricing on drinks all afternoon and evening long. Check out their menu at MrBrewsTapHouse.com. 2 convenient locations, Mr. Brew's Tap House in Overland Park and 3140 Iowa and Lawrence. Mr. Brew's Tap House, burgers and beers together forever.
If you drive a car, truck, SUV, or vehicle of any kind, you need Get Upside, the free gas app that pays you cash back for every gallon of gas you buy. That's right. With the free Get Upside gas app, you can get up to 25 cents a gallon cash back every time you buy gas. Nearly 3 million people have earned cash back with Get Upside just for buying gas.
I always use Get Upside. Some months I make $200 to $300.
I love getting money back for things I use every day. It's just free money for buying gas.
There's no catch. It's simple. And you get your cash back right away.
Download the free Get Upside app now in the App Store or Google Play to save up to 25 cents a gallon when you buy gas. Use promo code OIL for a 50-cent per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's up to 75 cents a gallon on your next fill-up. You can cash out anytime to PayPal or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Earn cash back on gas on every fill-up. Just download the free Get Upside app and use promo code OIL for a 50-cent per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code OIL.
This is Almost Entirely Sports with Joshua Brisco.
But that's not where this show makes its money. You guys know that. We make our money talking about the Chiefs. And dunking on people on Twitter.
On Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Good lighter choice, Beards. Thank you.
So I'm ready to do both. Here's the thing, all right? Right now I'm at the top of the key. I'm playing iso ball. I'm just going to pound this one into the hardwood until I get bored of talking about this particular topic. Because, man, what the Chiefs' offseason has been this year has been really interesting to me. But what Chiefs' Twitter has been this offseason has been infuriating to me. Really just these last several days. The piece of news from today that you've probably heard at this point, if not, here it is. T.Y. Hilton returned to the Indianapolis Colts. Now, the Chiefs were never super publicly in on T.Y. Hilton in the way they were for both Juju Smith-Schuster and Josh Reynolds, 2 guys that went elsewhere. Juju got offered more money by the Chiefs and the Ravens and went back to Pittsburgh, a move that I think is a bit silly in most ways and understandable in at least a couple. He's going to hit the market again next year. His best bet, he thinks, is to stay in the same system and to try to put up the best numbers he can in Pittsburgh. All right. I think he should have come and done that in Kansas City. Whatever, though. Fine. Josh Reynolds goes to the Tennessee Titans, and the Chiefs were in on him. He ends up choosing Tennessee. The reason that T.Y. Hilton today was Chiefs news is because that's pretty close to the ball game in terms of free agent wide receivers at this point. Our friend Matt Verderam tweeted out a list of the best remaining free agent wide receivers. I'm going to try to get the exact list because it's powerful. I keep getting phone calls, by the way, from the same phone number that I've told multiple times to. It's like they're doing some sort of like polling thing. My inclination is to answer some questions for a random person doing like phone banking polls. Seems kind of interesting. But they've now called me twice during this show. Stop it. If they call again, I'm going to answer it and just tell them to stop on air. And we'll see if they curse at me. Don't look at me like that, Beards. I'm not going to put them on air. I'm just going to tell them to stop calling me. But Verderam tweeted this out after the T.Y. Hilton signing. Here are the best available wide receivers in free agency. Antonio Brown, Demarcus Robinson, Sammy Watkins, Willie Snead, Cordell Patterson, Larry Fitzgerald. 2 weeks ago, we were talking about this class of free agent wide receivers as being potentially great value, almost certainly a buyer's market. And, well, let's hear about Jokic. The Nuggets are on fire, it sounds like.
Sorry, but I was pulling it up. I assumed my iPad was on mute.
Let's go ahead.
Typically is on mute.
Let's go ahead and hear. Jokic is on fire.
Yeah, it just went to commercial. Actually, I take that back. It's coming back from
What's it a commercial for?
That was the the little promo coming back from commercial. Or not promo, but the little preview.
Beers and I don't have hand signals, apparently.
I mean, it's fair.
I was trying to do hand signals
know what
to
you're
Beer.
doing.
Yeah, I
The
know.
shame,
I wish you were.
shame. Yeah.
Shame.
And it's fair. It's totally fair. Whew.
Shame.
I don't know why they're talking about the Nuggets being hot or Jokic being hot. Whew, if they're getting killed. Toronto's winning by 16 right now.
Against Toronto?
Yeah.
Whoosh!
Make that 19.
Rudy's Nuggets are getting stomped on right now.
Not a good night for him. Not a good night.
I don't want the Chiefs to sign Antonio Brown because he's a basket case. If you didn't want the Chiefs to sign Juju because of his TikToks, but you do want them to sign Antonio Brown, who, before he ended up in Tampa Bay, was known for, I believe, criminal vandalism, may have been some sexual assault in there.
May have threatened a witness or two.
Maybe. Definitely was burning the skin off the bottom of his feet and going out to practice in a spray-painted helmet. So
well,
I will
did
pass.
He burn or freeze? Because like
freeze burn, I guess.
Because technically it's a
burned.
burn.
Yeah.
But it's a burn from super low temperature.
Yeah.
It's a freeze.
Listen, if you didn't like Marcus Peters for not wearing his socks, you really shouldn't like Antonio Brown for not wearing his.
Oh, also there was the time that he filmed the Tomlin in the locker room talking when he wasn't supposed to be. And,
I thought you were talking about the phone call with Gruden that he filmed.
Oh no, not
okay,
that. Yeah,
he also did
there's that too. I forgot about that.
I don't think that one is what I am incredibly lenient on the idea of culture fits and if you can make it work in the locker room, etc. I'm not particularly interested in Antonio Brown becoming a Chief for all of those reasons. He had that mustache. You kidding me? And then we get to the we're Chiefs last year. We're allowed to hit free agency in hopes of improving on them section of the list. Demarcus Robinson and Sammy Watkins. I think right now, if I could bet money on Robinson coming back, I would do it. That one seems like it makes too much sense. But Watkins has already, he's got visits. I think he's already completed one with Baltimore and is headed to Indy. He may be in Indy now. I think there's even a couple more AFC teams that were rumored after that. And then you
literally
get to
just everybody but the Chiefs at this point.
Everyone in the AFC except for the Chiefs. And then you get to Willie Snead and Cordell Patterson and then Larry Fitzgerald, who may just retire.
Can I sell you on Cordell Patterson?
No.
He
Is it he'd be the best running back on the team?
He might be.
He might be.
But the kick return game, Josh.
pretty quickly, things went from a buyer's market to, if they bring back DeMarcus Robinson and Sammy Watkins, it would be like a borderline best case scenario right now. It's a tough scene. Also, we have the left tackle position, which at this point does still have a couple of veterans out there who I think the Chiefs are almost certainly going to try to add between Alejandro Villanueva and Russell Okung. Those seem like the two names most likely to end up in Kansas City. And then even with like Okung's injury issues, right? Well, if they sign Okung, they could draft somebody at 31 that doesn't have to immediately start day one. But even half a season in, if Okung misses some time or whatever, then maybe you can have your first-round pick step in. That's better than having to go into the NFL season with two starting tackles who have never played an NFL snap. That position's not like dead in the water, but it's a little tough. Other news today, they had Melvin Ingram, former Chargers edge rusher, in for a visit, and then he left without a deal. I don't know what the money there was. I don't know if they're concerned about the fact that he's only played, I think it was 20 games over the course of the last 2 years. I don't know what the Chiefs' reasoning was. I don't know what Ingram's reasoning was. They may still reunite. He could still be a Chief in 2021. It's not the vibe that I got from the reports from today, but I don't know confidently, so I won't say that. He could end up back in the building later on. But he did leave today without a deal. I don't think that T.Y. Hilton or Melvin Ingram are or were going to fundamentally change the path of the Chiefs' 2021 season, excuse me. But also, there is a very real conversation that we can have here if we can all be reasonable for like 10 seconds. Because here's the starting point, and this is not my opinion. This is... I think everyone from Brett Veach to me would agree on this at this point. The Chiefs right now, on their roster, right now, here on, March 24th, do not have a starting left tackle. They do not have a starting center, as Austin Ryder is now hitting the week mark on if he's going to, considering the Chiefs' latest offer.
By the way, Josina Anderson just tweeted, or a couple minutes ago, Sammy Watkins has completed his visit with the Colts.
Interesting.
Yeah, so he has finished that. There appears to be no deal, and I would assume moves on to whoever is next.
They do not have a starting left tackle. They do not have a starting center. The Austin Ryder thing is super interesting. I'll make an argument for bringing him back momentarily, but do not have a starting center. They do not have a starting defensive end opposite Frank Clark, and they do not have a starting wide receiver too. I'm not saying that they don't have great starters at those positions, because that list is longer, and that list exists for all NFL teams. But right now, the Chiefs do not have any starters at any of those positions. And again, that's accepting McCole Hardman as a wide receiver 3, Ben Neiman as a linebacker 3, Rashad Fenton as your third corner with Bashaud Breeland still out on the free agent market. I am allowing some flexibility there. And still, there are some massive positions the Chiefs simply do not have players at right now. The thing that has me really frustrated, I had tweeted something, I don't even remember specifically what it was. I'm sure it was smart and funny because I tweeted it. But I tweeted something earlier this afternoon, and then I didn't look at Twitter for like an hour and a half.
Whoa.
I know, which only happens when I'm sleeping, and even then.
That's a personal record.
For free agency, it actually might be. But, and then I came back, and my mentions column on TweetDeck was a mess. I couldn't tell what was to me and what were people responding to each other. And there was just a lot going on. And a lot of people who seemed like they were being really big and upset at people who are really big and upset at how this offseason has gone, which does not describe me. None of this is actually a value judgment on how this period has gone for the Chiefs. The only thing that I feel like I'm consistently saying at this point is that the Chiefs have continued to have these absolute voids at positions that we were all talking about needing an upgrade a month ago. And right now they're worse off than they were during the Super Bowl or shortly thereafter or in the AFC Championship game. I don't think Tano Passanio or Alex Okafor are anything special, but the defensive end position right now is worse than it was a month ago. The left tackle position is exactly as rough as it was in the Super Bowl whenever everyone in Kansas City could not stop talking about how much of a nightmare the Chiefs' offensive line was. The guard positions are better, but right tackle is a wash at best, depending on what you want your watermark to be as to what we're grading against. Right tackle position will be better with Lucas Niang than it was with Andrew Wiley, I'm pretty sure. But also, I don't think Lucas Niang in his first NFL action is going to immediately be Mitchell Schwartz. So figure out what you want to measure it against. But that's a position that I'm not worried about anymore, that I'm not talking about anymore, because I think Niang and Rimmers as a duo over there works out really well. I'm happy with it. I guess what I had tweeted was just saying they don't have these starters. And then there was a lot of defensiveness from people who I was not criticizing and people trying to defend things that I was not talking about. Because here's the deal. This is what has me just beside myself at this point. Some of you, and not all of you, but too many people are hearing what I'm saying right now and saying the Chiefs are lacking starters at several key positions. And I do not think it's good business to expect them to fill all those in the draft. Okay? That's what I'm saying. And some of you are hearing me say that as Brett Veach should be fired, put into medieval stocks, and have tomatoes thrown at him. I'm not saying that. I did just say it, so it will be a liner at some point. But that's not what I'm saying. I am not. Juju took less money to go back to Pittsburgh. Trent Williams, who the Chiefs were very close to signing, he was taking every offer he was getting back to San Francisco and saying, hey, if you guys can match this or beat this, a de facto right of first refusal, someone tweeted, it might have been Rappaport. Trent Williams was giving that offer to the Niners, saying, if you can match the Chiefs' best offer, I want to stay here. That is not the Chiefs' fault. I do wonder if they add an extra $4 million to Juju's deal and they're offering even more money. Does that get it done? Maybe. Is that good value? I don't know. The deal that T.Y. Hilton signed today, everyone universally thought was a bit much. Fine. He's the last receiver on the market, but okay. It's not Brett Veach's fault that Trent Williams was going to need to be paid an extra $5 million a year to come to Kansas City to ultimately outbid the Niners. It's not the Chiefs' fault that Juju's going back to Pittsburgh. I'm not making judgments on how we've gotten here. What I am saying is where we are right now for the Chiefs roster is not very good. It is definitely not where they want to be. I'm not saying anything that they're not saying. Because they tried to sign Trent Williams and Juju Smith-Schuster. And they both went elsewhere, and there is not a one-to-one comparison for either of those guys on the market right now. They were in on Josh Reynolds, and it didn't happen. They know they're lacking a real number 2 wide receiver and a left tackle. The reports were, I think it was March 11th, like 2 weeks ago, more or less. The report was that the Chiefs were expected to part ways with Austin Ryder. And met by general, cheers and positive murmurs among Chiefs fans, right? Because Austin Ryder's terrible or whatever. He's not, but, that's where we're at. Then about a week ago, Herbie Teope at the Star tweets, the Chiefs are interested in bringing Ryder back. They've extended an offer. He's considering it. Right now, if Austin Ryder doesn't come back, I don't know what they're going to do at center. Nick Allegretti he didn't even finish as a 6th-round pick, didn't even finish his career at center in college. He moved to guard. If the Chiefs wanted him to play center, they would not be trying to bring Austin Ryder back. If they thought he was an upgrade over Austin Ryder, they would let him go. And then if Allegretti got hurt or whatever, then maybe Tooney could kick in. Maybe LDT could play center. Whoever the backup guard is, you can make that work, but you're trying to actually have stability, and certainly at your first line, you want to be excited about your starting center. You want to have somebody that you're not immediately planning for the backup for. If they thought Nick Allegretti was going to be able to be their starting center, they could just go sign Dan Kilgore for another year and just stick him behind Allegretti like they did with Ryder. They clearly don't think that because they're trying to bring Austin Ryder back again. And they probably should. I was searching his name trying to find a couple of tweets earlier today, and I found a tweet from a Ravens fan and I think like an Eagles fan or somebody, and one of them actually was like a reporter, I think, actually, now that I say that, who were kind of giving like his Pro Football Focus stats as an argument for why Austin Ryder would actually make their offense better. And I have no problem at all with the Chiefs trying to upgrade on Austin Ryder. I have no problem. I would love for them to upgrade over DeMarcus Robinson and Sammy Watkins. I'm not expecting even an upgrade over Eric Fisher necessarily. That their hand was forced there by injury, but they need to have a starting left tackle. They should be upgrading over Tano Passanio or Alex Okafor. But right now, at all of these positions, with time running out in free agency, they're worse off than they were in the Super Bowl whenever there was so much frustration about the pass rush not getting to Brady. And really, the edge rushers were disappointing all year. There's some pretty ugly charts you can find where Tano Passanio was sort of landing amongst NFL starting edge rushers. It's not great. Frank Clark, whatever you want to say, he's not performed at the level of his contract. Is that a good metric? I don't know. But that part is true. I don't think you're going to find much pushback on that interpretation of it. But they're trying to upgrade opposite Clark. They're trying to upgrade that offensive line. They're trying to upgrade Patrick Mahomes' weapons. And right now, if and the season doesn't start today, if the season started today, I think their tackles would be Lucas Niang and Mike Rimmers. Nick Allegretti would be starting at center. Guys, they do not want in those spots because they've continued to try to upgrade over them. And your wide receivers would be Tyreek Hill, McCole Hardman, and Byron Pringle. Byron Pringle's got like 24 career catches. I like Byron Pringle. Everybody likes Byron Pringle. I love Byron Pringle as your 4th or 5th receiver who you're trying to get to ultimately grow into that role. But if we learned nothing about just saying, we could just put somebody in that spot and they'll be fine, because McCole Hardman's had a disappointing start to his career. Again, Byron Pringle has barely worked his way into the lineup. Do you think honestly that the Chiefs have watched Byron Pringle in practice every day and in his limited in-game action and thought, man, I actually think he is an upgrade over Sammy Watkins. We're not going to play him even whenever Watkins is hurt. You know what I think is an upgrade over DeMarcus Robinson? We're not going to play him there, of course. But I do think it's an upgrade. No, of course not. You've got some fine depth pieces. Again, Niang, Rimmers as your right tackle, swing tackle. Cool. Hardman and Pringle as your 3-4. Cool. This is a point that Craig Stout brought up on Twitter whenever I was tweeting about this, with all the places the Chiefs don't have starters. He said also what that means is they don't have depth at those positions either, and that's an important point to mention here. The Chiefs have hella depth at guard. And I think that's it on either side of the ball right now. I think that might be the entire list. And so, yes, you're all right. The season does not start tomorrow, and the draft is still here. The draft will help with a lot of those depth issues, I think. You can expect your 2nd and 3rd round picks to be some immediate depth. You can have your 4th and 5th round picks be some lower rotational depth. But you're going to have a really hard time going into a draft and coming out with 3 or 4 day one starters. That doesn't happen. In the best of drafts, it doesn't happen. And the Chiefs know this. None of this is even criticism of what the Chiefs have done so far this year. That's the thing that's so bleeping frustrating to me. Which first of all, listen, we can talk about where the team falls short whenever it does. How many times did I talk about leading up to the draft last year? They should not be taking a running back, and then they did. And then what did I say? All right, we're gonna have to be able to disagree sometimes, but I'm not even there right now. The Chiefs have actually pursued the positions that I think they should be pursuing. They just haven't landed all of these pieces. So this is not some thinly veiled criticism of Brett Veach in the front office. It's just concern. It's just concern with the exact same things that I can tell by the moves they've been making that the Chiefs are also concerned with. I don't think that's radical. I don't think that's crazy. I know it's not, because they don't think it is either. But it is serious. It is a problem right now. I think the worst thing, and again, I don't think the Chiefs are doing this. I think the worst thing that anyone can do right now is say, they'll figure it out with the draft. I don't know if I mentioned this on, in fact, you know what, I'll give you this nugget during the break because I went and I did a little bit of math on the Chiefs draft picks just to this point, which is, again, if you want to listen, man, if you want to listen to the things that I'm saying and interpret them as criticisms of Brett Veach, you're probably going to find a way to do that. It's really not where I'm coming from, but I think that a lot of people need a bit of a reframing on what you can expect from draft picks in their first year. The difference between, why do you think the Chiefs went and gave a first and second round pick and a bleep ton of money for Frank Clark? Because they believe that he's significantly better than Mike Dana, than Tano Passanio and Alex Okafor. Those guys all have roles, but they're not all completely interchangeable. Next man up eventually falls apart. We saw that in the Super Bowl. Mike Rimmers and Andrew Wiley at left and right tackle are not just stepping up into the Eric Fisher, Mitch Schwartz shoes and having everything run according to schedule. Like, that's why some players make more money than other players. All I should have to tell you right now is that if the season started today, I also think Ben Neiman is your second linebacker, because I don't know where the Chiefs are going to actually end up playing Willie Gay. Dan Sorensen being signed with Juan Thornhill getting healthy. Dan Sorensen coming back, I think, get like $2 million to be the third safety. I am totally cool with.
Number one in our hearts, though.
He is very familiar with his defense. He can play some versatile roles that Steve Spagnuolo very much appreciates.
Game changer.
And he will, inexplicably,
both ways,
use his forehead to ricochet a football into the air that Tyrann Mathieu will catch in the fourth quarter.
It's going to pick off Philip Rivers next year somehow.
Absolutely going to happen. He's going to go to his house and abduct one of his children.
He's going to be there on Thanksgiving, and Philip's going to drop back to throw a pass to one of his 21 sons, and Dirty Dan's just going to come out of nowhere.
You're so right.
Philip Rivers doing TV next year?
He should be. He gold darn should be.
Whenever he officially gets announced to be on TV, whenever he does a Chiefs game, Sorensen's going to get him.
But do you know what I would hate?
He was your starting running back?
Dan Sorensen being the number 1 or number 2 safety on this team. Your role matters. Nick Keiser is tight end 3 is chill. I'm fine with that. If Travis Kelce gets hurt and suddenly Blake Bell and Nick Keiser, they're your 2 dudes running your 2 tight end sets, this offense is cooked. It's not going to be great. Cooked may be an exaggeration, but you have to see my point here. You have to. But blah, 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 throw tomatoes at Brett Veach. Yep, that's what I'm here for. Whoop-de-doo. Thanks for listening. And by listening, I mean being extremely bad at listening.
At JB Brisco, at Beards McFly, at Not That Rudy, at Sports Radio 810. Just do it already. Sports Radio 810 is proud to be Kansas City's home for the National Football League.
Winds up, he throws a long pass.
Wide open Hill. Catches the ball at the 22 of San Francisco. What a play by Mahomes!
From Monday night to Sunday night and every game in between. Keep it right here on your exclusive home for the NFL playoffs, and the Super Bowl.
The Chiefs are going back to the Super Bowl.
Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Premier Mazda of Kansas City, where you can save thousands on new 2021 Mazdas. All new 2021 Mazda 6 Touring, just $269 a month. Mazda CX-5 Touring for just $289, and the Mazda CX-9 Grand Touring, just $389 a month. The deals don't stop there. Get the 2021 Mazda CX-30 Premium Package for just $249 a month, and as low as 0% APR for up to 48 months. Come to the #1 Mazda dealer in KC, Premier Mazda of Kansas City, home of the Premier Promise. Right past State Line and 135th, or at PremierMazdaKC.com. See dealer for details.
The weather has changed, and next thing you know, you'll need to switch your furnace to AC. There is no better time than now to get a new AC. And this month only, you can get a new furnace for free to go with it. That's right. Buy a new AC and get a new furnace for free. Call the folks at Anthony and get ready for spring and summer while saving a lot of cash. That's Anthony, the technicians KC has trusted for 70 years. Get more information at AnthonyPHCE.com.
Tired of looking at the same countertops, cabinets, and tile? Shop EuroSelect Countertops and Decor, where you will find all home furnishings and excellent customer service. Contact the EuroSelect team and mention Sports Radio 810 to receive 10% off your entire project. Call 913-602-1303 or visit their showroom for the most unique selection to fit any budget. And they have great financing options available. Find out more at eSelectStone.com.
Hey everyone, it's Tim Grunhart. You know I've been around Kansas City since being drafted in 1990. And I knew after the first season that I was here, this was going to be home. Kansas Cityans embraced me, and I didn't look back. One of the things I love about Kansas City are the great people. People like my friends at Roberts Robinson Chevrolet Buick GMC of Excelsior Springs. Cars and trucks are very personal to me, so having the best is important. I've been a customer for a few years now, and I couldn't be happier. They're the professionals, they're courteous, and more importantly, they make me feel like family. Roberts Robinson is what Kansas City's all about. Good people working hard to keep us going. Right now, they have their 2020 sell-down event. There's only a few 2020s left at these low prices. Till the end of March, there's 0% financing for up to 72 months on select models. Drive to Excelsior Springs and check out Roberts Robinson, or shop online at robertsrobinson.com. Tell them that Mr. Truck sent you, a.k.a. Grunny.
Men, do you suffer from erectile dysfunction or Peyronie's disease? Has Viagra stopped working? Most ED cases are caused by plaque buildup, which causes blockages and restricts blood flow. Even Viagra can't get through. But thanks to the doctors at West Coast Men's Health, a revolutionary medical procedure is now available. Using acoustic wave therapy, this non-invasive, pain-free treatment breaks down plaque, restores blood flow, potentially reversing ED for good. And women, if your man has ED, talk to him about acoustic wave therapy and how West Coast Men's Health can help, regardless of age or medical history. Call 913-243-3200 to schedule an evaluation. Be one of the first 10 callers and qualify for the special $99 consult fee, normally $199. That's 913-243-3200 or online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
This is Almost Entirely Sports with Joshua Brisco.
Brett Veach should be fired, put into medieval stocks, and have tomatoes thrown at him.
On Sports Radio 810 WHB.
That seems unfair to me.
You did say it. I have it. I have the audio of it.
It seems like that was taken out of context.
I don't think so.
A couple of comments real quick from the Twitch. Kedak Warrior just said, we are very close to Rudy's face whenever he was being shamed, and that just made me laugh for some reason. There's also... I
forgot about the zoom in, honestly.
I did too, and it was alarming.
Yeah, I forgot that was a thing.
Human Torch said, people are freaking out, and it's not even April 1st. Here's the thing. The only people that I feel like are freaking out about any of this are the people who are saying that other people are freaking out.
Yeah, also, it should be noted that by April 1st, the best free agent you're going to get is me. I'm who you go after come April 1st.
So here's the stat
and
really
I'll sign
quick.
for 1 year, just $10.2 million.
Here's the stat from Veach's
Fully
draft
guaranteed.
picks for his first 3 rounds in his 3 drafts with Kansas City. 3 disappointments, 2 role players, 2 starters, 2 TBD. The breakdown there is Speaks, Doriano Daniel-Saunders, Noddy, Hardman, Thornhill and Clyde, Gay and Niang being the TBD guys. I'm not even telling you that's like a terrible crop out of your first 3 rounds. I'm just saying that you've got to do a little bit of it. You can't just say your first 3 round picks are all going to be day 1 starters that are going to fill these holes right away. I just think there's a recalibration that needs to happen there. And to your point, Rudy, if you get to April 1st, all you have left is those draft picks. It's just Rudy. Pay Rudy. And I cannot stress this enough. I am not freaking out!
You are listening to Almost Entirely Sports with Joshua Brisco on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Let's take a second to think. Are you happy with your job? Maybe it's because your job is not a career. Let's change that by joining Team RMEC Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. If you're looking for a career as an installation or repair technician, then let's talk. There's a reason why RMEC leads the way in the greater Kansas City area, and that's because we treat people right, provide professional industry training, and give our team members the backdrop of a strong brand to stand with. RMEC also provides a market-leading benefits package with a 401k plan, health, dental, life, and vision insurance, as well as paid time off. And let's not forget, the top pay in the industry. This is why RMEC is one of the fastest growing companies in Kansas City. The time to join is now. Let's turn your job into your career today. Visit www.r-mech.com to apply or call 816-920-5955 for more information.
Have you seen what's happening with the stock market? Record highs every day. How long can this possibly go on for? By the way, this is exactly what happened right before the 2000 dot-com bubbles burst. Remember that? Protect your savings in retirement by putting them into something safe like real gold and silver. I'm not talking about gold or silver stocks, but into real gold and silver you can actually hold in your hands. How do you get real gold and silver? By calling the Oxford Gold Group today at 833-600-GOLD. Now, the Oxford Gold Group will teach you everything you need to know about owning real gold and silver. It's so much easier than you think. So call the Oxford Gold Group right now at 833-600-GOLD to get your free gold and silver investment guide. The Oxford Gold Group is the only gold and silver company that I trust, and you should too. Get the Oxford Gold Investment Guide today and learn how easy it is to have real gold and silver delivered to your home or how to have real gold and silver in your retirement account. Call the Oxford Gold Group today at 833-600-GOLD. That's 833-600-GOLD.
Hi, this is Justin Cole, Private Wealth Manager at Creative Planning. Over the last few years, we have grown to one of the largest nationally recognized wealth management firms in the country. While we are proud of our success, we are most proud of our Kansas City roots. We were founded in Kansas City and remain headquartered here because there's no place we'd rather be. We are Kansas City strong. Thank you, Kansas City, and thank you to our clients. If you're not a client, we invite you to reach out for a free, no-obligation financial review. You can find us at creativeplanning.com or by calling 913-338-2727.
Hey, Kansas City, Stephen St. John here for my main man, Ed Baldwin, with Community Mortgage. Interest rates are at historic lows. What are you waiting for? You can use the equity in your home to take cash out for a remodel or to pay off high-interest credit card debt. You could also get rid of that dreaded private mortgage insurance. Ed gets calls all the time from people who started off using online and national lenders, and he bails them out with a loan that will close on time and with better rates and lower costs. Don't contact a mortgage inside sales call center where they'll give you a number and send you down the line. Call Ed and work with a professional. There are mortgage companies, and then there's Ed Baldwin. You call and you speak to Ed, 913-825-1999. For all your refinance or home purchase needs, call Ed Baldwin for rates in the twos at 913-825-1999. That's 913-825-1999, or apply online at edbaldwinhomeloans.com.
Community Mortgage LLC, Kansas Licensed Mortgage Company, NMLS number 224143, APRs in the threes. Whether you're looking for energy savings for the winter or updating your home office or man cave, One Stop Decorating is the place for beautiful, energy-efficient window coverings. One Stop Decorating offers free in-home or virtual consultations, or you can come into one of their 3 beautiful showrooms to see all the window coverings in their Hunter Douglas galleries. Ask about smart shades that can be controlled by Google, Alexa, and HomeKit. 913-270-0408. 913-270-0408 or onestopdecorating.com. Your home, your windows, your style.
Kansas City's favorite sports station, 20 years and counting. Sports Radio 810 WHB, Kansas City.
Hello there. I'm Mark Robbins. The NBA on ESPN. It's Wednesday. Your traditional doubleheader night. Game 1 features Milwaukee hosting Boston. And about 3 minutes into the third quarter, Bucks starting to pull away up on the Celtics 79-61. Chris Middleton and Bobby Portis with 15 apiece for the Bucks. Following this one, it'll be Brooklyn at Utah. And ESPN's Malika Andrews confirms James Harden will not play in this one tonight for the Nets due to a sore neck and back. Malika says the team has decided to sit the former MVP after watching him during warm-ups. Harden did play last night, had 25 points, 7 assists in a victory against Portland. In addition, the Nets are without Blake Griffin. He's out for this game due to what is described as injury management. So shorthanded or not, it'll be the Nets and the Jazz in Utah on ESPN Radio as well, beginning at 9:30 p.m. Eastern with our coverage. On the ice in the NHL, the Bruins are back practicing after postponing 2 games a week ago because 5 players went COVID-19 protocol. Bruins are scheduled to host the Islanders tomorrow night. Tonight, the Sabres trying to snap a 14-game losing streak, and after one, they are trailing Pittsburgh 2-1. ESPN's Adam Schefter reports the Jets have come to terms on a 1-year deal with free agent running back Tevin Coleman. And ESPN's Rich Cimini reports the Jets' deal with defensive end Vinnie Curry is a 1-year deal, and it's worth $1.3 million.
Coming up on Keyshawn, Jay, Will, and Zubin, it's another day and another top 5 worst list from Bart. Must listen. We'll find out who are the worst quarterbacks drafted in the top 5 Thursday morning on ESPN Radio.
This is Almost Entirely Sports with Joshua Brisco.
I got 2 nuggets. I'm happy.
Rudy got 2 nuggets, everybody.
I got my 2 nuggets
on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Last time we opened Top Shot packs here on Almost Entirely Sports, Rudy got 2 nuggets. I'm hoping that maybe I can get a few Suns. Beards' team name doesn't really have a secondary meaning.
How's Renee gonna feel about that?
I mean, bad.
Oh, you coming home with Suns?
Bad. Yeah, bad. I mean, the answer would be bad. I don't think she's going to want to, know that I'm spending money on NFTs that I don't understand. Because I believe that I've decided that NFTs at one point decided to stand for not effing tangible. And that's sort of still where I'm at. But it all changes here today on what I can only imagine will be my last show, guys. It's been a great run. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to open this Top Shot pack, make millions of dollars, and then I'm going to just straight up ascend to the next level. I'm going to live amongst the rich and powerful. I'm going to buy Jim Rome and replace him. Which is obviously my dream, is to be Jim Rome. I don't know how that happened or
good life.
Made any sense. It probably wouldn't be a bad life.
Pretty good life.
Just not exactly my style. No, listen, here's what I'll say.
Pretty good life.
I don't want, for you guys, Beards and Rudy, and for the listeners as well, I don't want my newfound wealth to drive a wedge between us. If I won the lottery tomorrow, I'd be back. I'd be in here tomorrow night to do the show. Talk about. I think I might be. You forget how money can't buy happiness, but attention can.
I disagree so much with that statement.
I'd like both, essentially. In my perfect world, I've got lots of money from my NFT empire, and I've got attention from my radio empire. Those are the 2 things that I need. Plants need water and sunlight. I need money and attention.
I just need money.
Money's nice.
Just money.
I do think I just sort of
And chicken.
realized. I think that and chicken would also. You know what? Money can buy beards.
I feel like when
much
when you
chicken.
say you want money, the things that you enjoy in life generally are, God, if Beard's won just even like $1 million, he could retire.
Oh yeah.
Like because the reality is like you don't realize how much money you actually spend in your life, and like you could run out of money very quickly. But when Beards literally buys one video game every like 3 years that he'll replay 5 times and only eats chicken.
If Beards won
The man's
$1 million,
good.
if Beards won $1 million tomorrow, he would buy a bunch of chicken.
Yeah. I don't even know if it'd be
next-
a bunch. I think it would just be just like the normal meal from
true.
From Slims or Kings.
So let me. I don't want to say that all at once. I'd say if he won $1 million tomorrow,
Gotcha. Just
he
in
would
general.
buy.
Yes. Gotcha.
Kind of going down the line, lots of chicken.
Mm-hmm.
The new gen Xbox and whatever games, Game Pass and all that stuff. A lot of Coke and a lot of Coca-Cola. 4 things.
Original recipe?
Let's open the Top Shot, baby! Hit the music! Yeah! Yes, to the moon, diamond hands! Human Torch on Twitch says Josh is going to get the trashiest Top Shot cards, isn't he? Not in my...
Also, Human Torch.
Not my house.
There's not enough money in the world for a bugless copy of Cyberpunk. It just doesn't exist. Money can't fix everything.
Human Torch said Beards would buy a bugless copy of Cyberpunk.
Money can't solve
Rudy's joke was very good. I just wanted to provide the proper context. All right, hit open the pack, Beards. I've got the stream up on my screen in here. I'll be a nanosecond behind Beards. I got 5 cards, so I don't understand. Really quick, Rudy, what is this Cool Cats pack?
So there's this, like I got, a set, however you want to, a version of these packs called Cool Cats, and there have been a couple of drops of them. This is the third and the last. Obviously, you have 5 moments. There are 4 base set moments, your 4 commons, and then there is one Cool Cat that, again, is unique only to this pack. You can only receive it in this pack, or you obviously can buy it on the marketplace, but this is the only pack in which these moments exist in and will ever exist in.
But also, the Cool Cats you were telling me during the break are like 5 European dudes.
Yes, it is. Not necessarily European. It's international. So it's 4 European dudes and Shea Gilgeous-Alexander.
Wait, I thought you said it was RJ Hampton. Is he not Canadian? Is he from Canada?
No, RJ Hampton.
He's Canadian.
RJ Hampton?
Oh, Barrett. You're thinking RJ Barrett. You're thinking
RJ Barrett is Canadian.
Yeah.
Now,
That's what I
RJ
did too.
Hampton played in...
Beards got. That's what I was
RJ
doing.
Hampton played in Australia.
You guys get me. RJ from Over the Hedge is the name of the raccoon, and he is Canadian.
Oh, I've never seen Over the Hedge.
No kidding?
Yeah, never saw it.
Do you know who voices RJ?
Is Ray Romano's in that show, right? In that
Ray
movie?
Romano is...
Is he?
Is he? I don't know.
I don't think so. William Shatner's in it. I know that.
William Shatner is in it.
Chris Rock.
Avril Lavigne is in it.
Well, is it Avril Lavigne or is it Avril Lavigne?
Eugene
body
Levy
double?
is in it.
Okay.
Who is the turtle? Who is Vern? I'm saving RJ for the end.
Gary Shandling.
Oh,
Is
Ray
it
Romano
really?
is
Ice Age.
Ice Age, yes.
He's Ice Age.
Yes.
RJ.
Oh, Bruce Willis is RJ.
RJ is voiced by Bruce Willis.
Oh, Steve Carell.
Oh yeah, he's Hammy. Oh, he's great.
Nick Nolte.
Who is Nick Nolte?
I don't know who Nick Nolte is.
No, who does he voice?
Oh, give me a second. I just clicked on Nick Nolte's name, so now I gotta go
Even
back.
I can't believe this segment got where it did.
Vincent.
Oh yeah, he's the bear. He's the bad guy. He's one of the bad guys. Wanda Sykes is the skunk.
Yep, Wanda Sykes.
That's a good movie.
It's a good movie.
It's a good cast.
It's got. I forgot about this. So the parents in Schitt's Creek, the TV show, are Eugene Levy and Catherine O'Hara.
Yes.
They are also a pair of possum parents in Over the Hedge.
Small world.
I mean, Porcupine.
There you go.
Porcupine parents. Yeah, right?
I was going to say William Shatner's the possum.
Hold on.
Small world we got, man. Small world.
But Avril Lavigne is a possum. It's been a minute since I've seen it. I'm not sure.
Well,
Let's open the
that
pack.
feels right because she's playing dead, but she's not
actually
really
dead or
dead. But
something.
it's actually it's her body double.
All right, Josh.
Something like that.
1
I
through
don't know
5.
specifics.
Rudy, have the marketplace open. Let's just do number 1, Beards. Let's just go top left, work it on in. We got 4 base cards and a Cool Cats card. We won't know which one's which until they're open. Click that first card, Beards McFly. Click the card. Click to reveal. Click it. Raptor Dunk. I don't know how to pronounce this man's name.
Chris Boucher.
It's a dunk from a Raptor that I've never heard of.
He's solid.
Assist from Fred VanVleet.
Ooh.
Which is exciting.
That helps.
And serial numbers in the 12,000s. And it says there's a plus at the end of the number. So are they making more of these still?
So the
This
the
is
one that you
worthless.
got is a CC, which means it's a continuous. It's a continuous circulating. No.
That makes sense.
A continuous
Can you-
count.
can you find out?
Basically,
Am I a millionaire?
They may.
It's not a Cool Cat.
They may continually. That number's not set. They may continue to make more and more, just depending on how much they want to make. What is the serial number?
12,000 and change.
12,000. Your range right now
12,306.
12,306. Okay. Loading.
Just a rough estimate will do. Is this, am I a millionaire? Is this one $1 million?
I don't have any prices yet.
Do you think it's close to $1 million?
Okay. Come on.
500
This
grand?
thing is being real slow.
$750,000?
I mean, 12,000 out of 35,000 is not a bad serial number, but
Yeah, I'd just like to know, should I go? I need a financial advisor after this also.
yeah.
Don't hire him. Don't hire him yet.
Nothing's working great today.
That's fine. Why don't you keep?
I don't know if it's internet-wise.
Stay on the
I
hunt
don't
for that,
know if
Rudy.
it's,
But just hold on.
Okay, 12,000 you say?
Yeah.
I mean, 2,000, 3,000, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8,
We can move on to the next one while you do
10,
them.
11, 12. 12,000 and...
Dollars?
What was
Just
this?
pick 306. 12,306.
You're probably anywhere in the 20 to 40 range.
Not enough to retire. But that's okay. That's what we got the second card for. Beards, open card number 2. Waiting for it to open. It is a Mavs.
Oh, that's your cool cat.
Porzingis. This is my cool cat.
Kristaps Porzingis.
It's the serial number is just under 11,000. It is a Kristaps 3.
Kristaps is cool.
To beat the buzzer?
He's
A
cool
buzzer
cat.
beating 3.
Oh, buzzer beaters.
Probably not a fourth quarter buzzer
beaters
beater.
are always nice. This is obviously a limited edition.
All right, so this is the cool cat. Cool Kristaps, as I call him. I've always called him.
Always called him Cool Kristaps. Kristaps is one. Cool cat.
So it's just under 11,000 out of 15,000 here, Rudy.
Just under 11.
If it would be beneficial, I'm very okay letting you do the math silently while we move on to the next one and kind of keep it moving.
I like counting out loud.
Yeah,
what
I
is
can
it?
tell.
Serial number 11,000.
Just under 11,000.
Oh, just under 11,000. So okay, well here's a wide range. None is currently on the market below in the 11,000. It's 10,829 to
Close enough.
14,997.
Let's go close to the 10.
So you're about $100.
I mean, that's more money than I had before I bought this pack.
And it seems like if I'm right, and I assume I am, where the green on here signifies that they have been sold.
Yeah.
$100 is like they're selling for $100 very very easy.
If anyone wants to buy that, you can just Venmo straight to me, and I
Seems
will
like,
send you a screenshot of it or something.
Yeah, it seems like you could get
well, the third one's probably going to be the one that makes me a bunch of money.
The recent sales are basically between $97 and $100.
Well, let's go ahead. We'll call that 100. Beards, let's go ahead and open the third card here. Colin Sexton.
Ooh.
Let's get sexy, baby.
Alabama.
He actually plays for Cleveland now.
He went to Alabama.
It's a 3. Who's he shooting at over there, Beards? Is that Kyrie?
I think so, yeah. I think that's actually the game where he went just bananas from 3 or whatever in overtime in the fourth quarter and beat the Nets basically single-handedly by himself.
Serial number.
That was a crazy game.
Almost exactly 2,000, Rudy, there. 2,000 and change.
Not bad.
20,000.
20. What did I say?
You said 2.
I meant 20,000.
I was going to say, that's not bad.
No,
but
that's
yeah,
significantly
that's,
worse.
Here's what I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Oh,
this doesn't make sense.
Let's get sexy.
The top sell.
Yeah.
Is a serial number of 22,000. It sold for $3,000. But that was yesterday.
Well,
doesn't feel.
I'm gonna get this mother bleeper on the market.
I don't know if this feels right. I think you're realistically looking at about $10.
Well, listen. You say 10, I say 3,000. Tomato.
One sold for $3,000.
It will at least
last night.
Depending on the range, you'll at least buy one order of chicken somewhere.
That's true. That's a great point, Beards. If you can scroll
I feel
down
like this might be
smidge
money laundering.
if possible. Oh,
This might-
certainly.
and
It's all money laundering.
This might be the question in this. That feels like that might not be a great purchase.
All right, well, let's go ahead and do number 4. I'm not a millionaire yet, but maybe I'm up. Maybe $100. That cool Cat Kristaps 3. That's a Bulls logo on a dunk. Zach LaVine dunk.
Ooh, Zach LaVine's
Fast
hot.
break. Is this gonna be nice? That was not bad. 2,000.
hot right now.
Actually, 2,600 is the serial number here.
Zach LaVine is hot right now. He's an
So
all-star.
hot right now.
He's an all-star. You said it was the dunk, correct?
Zach LaVine dunk, January 10th, 2021.
I got it.
Serial number 2,623.
Scrolling down.
I like dunks. I'm a simple man,
Dunks are nice.
I like a good dunk. It's a strong, solid dunk.
Okay. He's number 8, right? I think.
Looks like it.
Yes. The number 8 sold this morning for $2,400. A serial number.
Also, this one for $2,300. You want to buy it?
But 2 days ago, the serial number 33,000 sold for $2,100. I don't know how that works exactly.
What's currently on the market right around that $225?
The recent sales have been about $10.
It's more chicken.
10 to 15.
But the good one, the good card is definitely going to be this last one here.
Like, your serial number is 33,863 and you sell it for $2,100. Like, how?
Money laundering.
Yeah.
I think you're right on that one.
It's got to be.
This is number 50. It's a Knicks 3.
So much really.
Austin Rivers.
Maybe it was Zach LaVine bought it.
The serial number is in the 11,000s. Austin Rivers 3. I got to say, I feel like this might not end up with.
Son of a coach.
Huh.
You said a three-pointer?
Austin Rivers 3.
Knicks legend. Knicks are hot right now, Josh.
Serial number is 11,659.
Knicks are hot right now. Top sale, $6,500.
Mm-hmm. What about in that rank? I'm trying to get rid of these. I'm trying to turn these around.
What'd you say the serial number was?
11,000 and change.
Serial number 12,112, $6,500.
I'll put it up for that. Is there a lower one that somebody might search out instead of buying mine?
Recent sales have been around the $9 range, but there's a 40 in here. There's 182.
We'll round up to 10 again. Just a nice crisp 10.
Another order of chicken.
Knicks won this game, by the way. Austin Rivers in this game finished with 23 points, with 9 of 14 from the floor, 5 for 7 from 3. 1 offensive rebound, 2 defensive rebounds, 3 total, 2 assists, 1 turnover.
How does luxury feel, Josh?
So do you guys think that I could sue because I didn't become a millionaire based off of...
Well, you haven't become a millionaire yet.
My first pack.
Depending on what you actually sell the packs for, you could become a millionaire.
Thomas Hayden Church is the voice of Dwayne in...
Who's Dwayne again?
I think he's the exterminator. Thomas Hayden Church, I think I recognize him from, George of the Jungle.
Yeah, he was the bad guy in George of the Jungle.
I think he's also the exterminator in Over the Hedge.
I love George of the Jungle.
Well, a mixed bag here. A mixed bag. I think with tax and everything, with fees, this pack was less than $20. Theoretically, I should be able to flip all this for, let's take the low end on that Chris Doucher dunk. What's his name?
Boucher.
I don't.
It's like Bobby Boucher.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah. Let's say 20. That's $150 out of that. That pack there. If I turn some of those around, maybe I'll hold on to the little cheapos, so I'm allowed to buy more expensive packs because they've got me right by the Nuggets apparently already. What I don't necessarily feel like happened is that I am on the fast track to luxury. And the real bummer out of this is that we're gonna take a break, and whenever we come back, I'm gonna have to keep talking to both of you, looking you both in the eyes, not just being able to tell you, hey, talk to my assistant. I don't really do stuff like that anymore. Whenever you ask me, hey, are you gonna put away all the mascots after the show? No, I'm not, but my personal assistant probably will.
Yeah, that's understandable.
Anybody want to buy a Colin Sexton 3?
It was a good game.
Colin Sexton might want to.
You want it, Beards?
Not really.
50 grand. It's yours.
I've got that tied up in chicken this month.
49?
It's still chicken.
How much chicken are you buying?
Enough to feed me.
It's a lot of chicken.
Go spend some of that money with CD Projekt Red. Let them rob you at gunpoint.
I didn't hear that joke because the Beards talked in our heads.
It was a joke about Cyberpunk. Just laugh.
Did you know you can listen to Almost Entirely Sports anywhere, anytime? Well, you can. Just search for Almost Entirely Sports wherever you get your podcasts.
There's nothing like the sounds of your son learning to dribble, or the sounds of your daughter learning to tap dance. A local family-owned hardwood flooring specialist company wants to help you remember these sounds for the rest of your life with a quality wood floor. Acme Floor has been in business for almost 100 years and is so entrusted with its workmanship and quality of materials that KU and MU called them to build their wood basketball courts. You may not be looking for a basketball court, but Acme Floor can help you create the sounds and look you want in your home. From the floor at the Nelson Atkins Block Building, UMKC Swinney Rec, the stages at the Kauffman Center, to your kitchen. No project is too big and no budget is too small. If you're looking at laying a new floor, refinish or resurface your hardwood floors, why not call the best? Give Acme Floor Company a call at 913-888-3200. Acme Floor Company works with both residential and commercial customers. Go by their Lenexa showroom at 10100 Marshall Drive. 4-generation family owned and operated.
Vanderbilt's is your work boot center. Vanderbilt's carries all the best brands in work. Keen Utility, Wolverine, Ariat Rebar, Reebok, Timberland Pro, and Carolina. Whether you need safety toe or non-safety, we have you covered. Athletic, hikers, traditional work boots, or pull-on styles, Vanderbilt's carries them all at the best prices around. And check out Vanderbilt's for their selection of work clothing as well. Locations in Lawrence, Topeka, and Wamego.
Work boot center, Vanderbilt.
All 2020 Acura MDXs must be sold in March. Shop March deals at your Kansas City Acura dealers to score 0.9% APR and our most aggressive lease deals of the season. Plus, stack your savings with bonus offers and special rewards for college students and military. Need more? No problem. Kansas City Acura dealers are offering $1,500 towards down payment assistance with our Loyalty Conquest program when you buy or lease. All 2020 MDXs must go. Shop Kansas City Acura dealers today.
APR offer excludes BMC edition. Hey, Kansas City, Stephen St. John here for NJ Diet. Are you still holding on to those winter pandemic pounds? Be slimmer before summer, since it only takes 40 days to lose a contractually guaranteed 20 to 40 plus pounds with NJ Diet. NJ Diet's program starts with bioenergetically personalized supplements based on your hair, saliva, and blood work. Then, NJ Diet uses DNA testing to create your ideal diet and workout regimen to help you keep it off. And if you don't want to do it alone, who does? NJ Diet is with you every step of the way. You'll be fully monitored by their certified staff to make sure you're burning fat and not just losing water. You'll also get the doctor's personal email and phone number. NJ Diet is all natural, no shots, no hormones, and no surgery. Located close by in Overland Park, or you can watch live online video consultations from home. Call 855-5NJ-DIET. That's 855-5NJ-DIET. Or go to njdiet.com and lose the weight for good. That's njdiet.com.
A reading from the Golden Oak Lending Book of Mortgage Lingo. What is Zipline? It's Golden Oak's fast and easy online mortgage tool that leaves you with more time to plan a family movie night.
I get to pick the movie.
And clean up the popcorn you weren't planning on sharing. At Golden Oak Lending, we speak mortgage and love translating it. Right now, rates are at a historic low 2.5%. Visit goldenoaklending.com to use Zipline. NMLS 114937, 2.5% fixed, 2.655% APR on a conventional 15-year mortgage with 30% equity and approved credit. JLB Corporation, 8595 College Boulevard, Overland Park, Kansas.
Dutch Boy's new Platinum Plus paint with Stain Shield technology has the performance you expect from a luxury paint at a price you didn't. Platinum Plus is up to 50% more washable and stain resistant than a leading premium paint in satin sheen. Superiority ranges from 24 to 50% depending on sheen selected. Platinum Plus keeps your walls looking new longer. Menards and Dutch Boy paint have you covered. Go ahead, live your life.
Get 11% off everything now at Menards. Savings or a mail-in rebate. See store for details.
You're listening to Almost Entirely Sports.
Here's a headline. Jerry Jones throws Wild Hall of Fame party that reportedly cost $16 million.
With Joshua Brisco.
How would I begin spending $16 million on a party? I spent like $84 at Target yesterday, and I'm still upset about it. I was buying groceries. I need those to live.
On Sports Radio 810 WHB.
JT on Twitch has said, time to take some legal action, Josh. See if Mike's really got this. I think those may be my next step.
Mike's got this, by the way.
I've been told that Mike's got this. I'm going to need to
Mike
know.
has definitely got this.
If Top Shot won't just send me hundreds of thousands of dollars, I will accept dozens of free Top Shot packs.
Yeah. As you should, because Mike's got this.
It's so bizarre. I just feel like this is not. I don't. Here's the thing.
You're not sure how this works?
Do I feel like I just
None
bought
of us are, Josh.
5 cards? Because I don't know that I don't know that I did.
None of us know how this works.
And also, given the opportunity, I would buy one of the $200 packs right this second. Try again.
Absolutely.
It's not gambling. It's an investment.
Of course.
Mom. Stop telling me it's gambling. I'm fine. Like, listen, I ate a lot of ramen like immediately after college. I can go back to that. It's okay.
It's a loot box for life.
It really is a loot box, isn't it? It's just a loot box. The only thing that has me still like that I know that I'm going to stay in this game if I can here is the marketplace, because it creates the illusion, if nothing else, that these are very close to being real money.
Yeah.
Because I think total this cost me like a little under $20 with whatever the fees and taxes and stuff were. If I could just sell all these at their current average value, even on the lower end, there's $150 there. That turning 20 into 150, we're going to the moon, baby. That's a good investment. But I don't know that anyone is really buying a lot of these on the marketplace right now.
So there is a cool thing. If you go to each moment, there is people have now created like fans of this. And so it's on each moment's page. You click on it and it just says evaluate.market and it takes you to a third-party site. And so you can see like I'm looking at Jaylen Brown's right now, and to give you an idea, I only have serial number 0 through 1,000 clicked on. So those are the dots of when they've been sold at the price. The blue line is obviously the average.
Yeah.
So you can go over and look at like this was bought at this time. This is the serial number, and this is how much it was bought for. And I think I'm probably gonna, today, Jaylen Brown, number 18, serial number 18 sold for $510. I think I might drop my Jaylen Brown price a little bit. My main thing is I mostly just want to get that sold. So then when a big pack comes around, I can just use that. Because here's the thing. I'm probably never going to really see, let's just say I sold it for $400. It's not that I expect to actually see $400 in my bank account.
Mm-hmm.
But then when one of those big packs drops for like $250, in reality, I've spent $14 on it because I spent $14 for that Jaylen Brown, and now I've just turned that Jaylen Brown into fake money and used that fake money to buy another pack.
And now you're basically in the stock market,
yes,
I think.
Basically.
Is that how the stock market works?
Pretty much. So yeah, I think I'm gonna have to. The one thing I wish they could do is, if you're listening to Top Shot, I'm sure you are.
Yeah.
Give an edit, but like to an edit feature when something's on the marketplace. So if like for me to put it for it's currently up for $500, for me to put it at $400, I have to take it off the marketplace and then put it back on the marketplace. Just let me edit that. Just let me be like, hey, I'm now putting this up here for I'm changing the $500 to $400. It's not that it takes that long to take it off and put it back on, but I should just be able to edit it. Just let me edit it.
What I would like, the feature that I would like for them to add is that whenever I want a pack, I get it. And whenever I open it, it's just the good cards for me. Ideally, like serial number 1.
That's
that
understandable.
Like, that's just sort of what I would suggest.
It's a pretty cool. So, like, yeah, I do suggest going to some of these to your moments and looking at the evaluate market, because you can look at all sales. Like the one thing on that page is you can only see the recent sales and the top sales. You can go to this and look at every sale that's been made for like whatever cards you're looking.
Is there a trade feature yet? Because
there's a gift feature, and I think it's kind of the same. I guess essentially the same thing, right? I would gift you Jalen Brown, you would give me Kristaps Porzingis. Not happening, but yeah, basically.
But my thought is like, what if I was the one that got 2 nuggets and you had some of Devin Booker's sons, Yeah. Could we? And they're both worth pretty much the same amount of money.
Whew.
I'd be down. What?
Joe Schro, 85, bought the number 57 Jalen Brown for $397. And you know what he did a week later? He sold it for $425.
Stonks.
Way to go, Joe.
Stonks. Moving on
Way
up.
to go, Joe.
That
So yeah,
means-
57 sold for basically 400. 60 has sold for Sanjay bought number 60 for $300. About a week later, sold it for 400. Or no, later that day, he sold it for 400.
Damn.
Go Joe or Sanjay. So yeah, I think I'm gonna draw him on $400.
If you want to buy Rudy's Nuggets, what is it?
By
Brown?
Jalen Brown, yeah.
You can go do that now.
This is a cool hold up. Seller, Juju
Oh,
Smith-Schuster.
interesting.
I wonder if this is actually Juju Smith-Schuster. Clicking on that, it's going to take me to Juju Smith-Schuster's page now. And let's see what Juju. You want to see what Juju Smith?
Yeah, I'd also like to
Schuster's,
know how many more dollars we have to give him before he'll play for a good football team.
Let's see. Who does Juju? He's got 14 moments. I don't know if this is like the real Juju.
Is this good radio?
I think it's pretty good radio. He's got Steven Adams. He's got a Nikhil Alexander Walker up for sale right now, $600, but it is the Rising Stars one. Ooh, he's got Jason Tatum beards. Couple Drew Holidays. Ooh, he's got Colin Sexton 3-pointer. He's got the same one you got. That's it.
So
That's all I have.
Juju and I now have 3 things in common. We both have that Colin Sexton 3. We're both very good at TikTok dances, and neither of us play football with Patrick Mahomes.
Very true.
Hope you feel good about that one, Juju.
One of you wishes they could, though.
That's accurate. Yeah, only one of us would prefer to play with Patrick Mahomes than Ben Roethlisberger, apparently. That's me. There was a tweet from Ethan Douglas, friend of the show, who I actually haven't read all of the sort of responses to it and everything, but he quote tweeted a tweet of mine about my mentions being a disaster vis-a-vis all of the things that have happened with the Chiefs this offseason. And also, by the way, I'll reiterate this point. Unless the Chiefs start Patrick Mahomes at left tackle and Tyreek Hill at quarterback, they're still going to win the AFC West. But also, they have major roster holes, and they've had big free agent targets that they've pursued that have gone elsewhere. There's gotta be some space that we can all occupy within that conversation that doesn't leave me feeling like the crazy one, right? But Ethan quote tweets it and says, "Very strange to me." Fair enough. Very strange to me that there is so much frustration in Kansas City at this offseason where seemingly all the front office has done is refuse to overpay free agents. Yet still lots of praise for the last few off seasons, which are entirely how they got to this point. The thing that I would critique there, the defense that I will probably levy on Twitter during the break.
Eugene Levy to be specific.
that I will Dan Levy over the course of the break. Do you know another Levy?
Isn't the other one Sarah?
It is now.
That I'll probably bursted Levy over the course of the break. Like a dam, I think. Sorry for cursing.
I think you're right about that.
Sorry for my language. But the biggest differentiator here, because here's the thing, again, I don't necessarily think that they should have gone to another order of magnitude on Trent Williams. They did offer the most money. Actually, I think Baltimore offered more money to Juju, but they offered more money to Juju than the team that he actually ended up signing with. I'm not necessarily frustrated with where the front office has gotten to this point, but they have major roster holes. I think, to Ethan's point here, if you want to go ahead and try to point fingers in different places, you might have more reasonable success pointing fingers at the last couple of years that have gotten to a point now where that Breland Speaks draft pick is the reason they still don't have a starting edge. They traded up for Breland Speaks to get an edge that would start a couple years later, and he's not even on the team anymore. I think he's on a futures deal somewhere right now, but
he's also never on the ground.
And now, Beards, that's such a great point. I'm so glad you mentioned that. Because people forget that.
Mm-hmm.
That he is, in fact, never on the ground.
Did he end up on the ground when he tore his ACL?
No.
Football guy.
Football, he's tough. He was occasionally on the ground after being blocked really hard. But no, listen. I don't want to make fun of Breland Speaks' injury. Rudy, why are you making fun of Breland Speaks' injury?
Sorry.
Make fun of his just like incapability as a football player.
That was my fault.
And also, I'm not sure this is Breland Speaks' fault. I'm making fun of the draft pick.
Not Breland's fault. He was drafted so high.
Yeah, he didn't demand that.
He was just trying to stay off the ground. That's all. It's not the man's fault.
Aspen58 on Twitch says, currently in the drive-thru for Slims, and it feels very on brand for listening to this show. I need to send another email. I also need to tell you, I'll circle back during the break.
Yeah, there's a lot there, isn't there?
I haven't had Slims in a while.
I had a
yes. I had it yesterday.
God, all the days are blending, and I don't remember any day from I don't know what's what.
Sounds so good right now.
I think it was yesterday.
I had it yesterday, and I got 2 chocolate chip cookies, and they're delicious.
And you put the chicken between the chocolate chip cookies.
No, because that would require me both cookies, and remember he has to have the halftime and a post.
Does the halftime cookie also apply for Slims?
No. Nope, those just go at the end.
I don't know.
That's only for sandwiches.
I don't know why I assumed that, but I did assume that the halftime cookie is very specific to the sub sandwich category, where you eat half of the sandwich because it's literally cut in half.
Yeah, half a foot long.
And you have then you have a cookie, and you eat the rest of the cookie, and then the rest of the foot long, and then you have a cookie.
Yeah,
I'm jealous of. I'm truly jealous of Beards
because
his life.
Because
is
I was genius enough to come up with a halftime cookie.
No, it's because he lives his life in such a pure way, and just like the simplest, pure ways. It's just I'm jealous. I'm like really hooked on this evaluate market thing. There's a guy whose name is Whale Vault 1, who currently his total moment valuation $43,611,430. And he purchased these apparently for $3,298. His return on investment is $1,322,259%, which seems bleeping wild to me.
Seems sort of broken. That doesn't.
I'm guessing he had to been in from the beginning, very early on.
One gunner down on Twitch says, I think that's KFC's next summertime sandwich, the chocolate chip cookie chicken sandwich.
They'll try it.
I know it.
They'll at the very least try it. It's you gotta give it. They're all about, let's give this a shot. Let's see what happens.
And then they have the special where it's the snickerdoodle instead of the chocolate chip cookies.
That would be better, I think. But do we need to go at? We're literally right now talking about cinnamon-crusted food. Should we talk about the Cinnamon Toast Crunch thing now?
Sure.
I was going to go back to Chief stuff, but I feel like we have walked. I also have a KFC and a McDonald's thing to talk about from personal experience.
Oh, boy.
But if you're not aware.
Can I, real fast?
If it's about Top Shot evaluations, no.
I currently rank 146,184. I'm in the top 41 percentile. Just want to throw that out there. I'm good. I just wanted to throw that single thing out there.
Good is a.
Or I'm done.
Bit there.
I just wanted to throw that one thing out there because I just thought it was fascinating.
So if you haven't seen this yet, you also have to play the sound, Beards. It's an audio medium.
Do I have to play the sound as well?
Yes. They're intrinsically connected. Put the video back and hit the sound.
Oh, hang on.
I'm not even sure this is justified.
It's not.
Eh.
But, that's all right.
Shame.
I'm used to Beards making bad choices.
It really upsets me that I can hear the machine breathing in there also still, Beards. It really is a lot. Also, Damian Williams. Boy, howdy.
Yes.
Damian Williams signed with the Bears, by the way, earlier today.
Damian Wilson might sign with the Bears soon.
Possible.
Is he a free agent?
Yes.
Hey, at least they've got QB1 figured out now.
And running back 1.
So Jensen Karp on Twitter, who's also got a bunch of other things, and he's married to what's her name from Boy Meets World?
Oh, that's who, Topanga.
He's married to Topanga.
Okay, I forgot that this was that guy.
It's this guy.
Well, then he's credible.
He opens.
She has the purest of all. Like she was probably my first crush growing up. Topanga would never make a bad decision. If somebody was good enough for her to marry, you know what? That man's a straight shooter.
So, this man, Jensen Karp, opens a bag of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Costco. Double bags in there. 2 bags and 1 big old box of CTC.
Mm-hmm.
Not to be confused with CTE, which is what I got after banging my head on a wall after reading about this interaction. He opens this thing of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Eats some of it. And then later...
goes for a second bowl.
Opens up this box, pours out a bowl, and he finds 2 cinnamon sugar crusted shrimp tails.
Yeah, it's just when the cinnamon builds up and
in the bag. And there he posts multiple pictures of them. You should go look at it if you haven't seen it yet. Beards, you're gonna pull it up for the video stream. Excellent. They are shrimp tails. Okay? I mean, they just are definitely 100%, 100 P shrimp tails.
I forgot about that.
Me too. Till just now, somehow. They're shrimp tails.
Yeah.
He tweets about it like, yo, what happened here? Cinnamon Toast Crunch responds, we'll look into it. They look into it. They say, hey, Jensen, my guy. That is an accumulation of cinnamon and sugar that occasionally shows up and kind of encrusts the bottom of the bag. He says, why am I being gaslit by a cereal company? These are shrimp tails. And they were. They said they've conducted an investigation. They said there's no possibility of cross-contamination for shrimp tails into CTC. Well, that was bad. Then I found all of this today. He tweets again. There are 2 bags, by the way. One of the bags was like taped shut, which is weird also.
You don't tape shut your bags of cereal with tape?
I
use double-sided tape.
Not when I buy them originally.
I use double-sided tape. Keep them fresher longer.
But he tweeted this out a couple days ago, and I missed it until today. He finds in this same bag, he finds some of the little Cinnamon Toast Crunch little wafer guys have these black specks kind of cooked onto them.
Mm-hmm.
They look, if anyone has ever had a pet, hamster, gerbil, rat, etc., you have a general idea of what their poopy looks like. And that's pretty good estimation of what some of these pieces of Cinnamon Toast Crunch look like. Maybe they had a little rodent doo-doo cooked onto them. Then he tweets this. This may have been before he actually found the sort of poop-looking things. He tweets. Oh yeah, okay, excellent. The original picture is up on the video stream right now. If you want to go through some of the other ones, Beards, his timeline is a treasure right now. It should be sent into whatever archives. What's the Library of Congress? His tweet should be in the Library of Congress because this is wild. He then tweets, I was convinced to go back through the bag since when I first noticed the shrimp tails, I freaked out and closed the box. Here's all my findings. Already bad. Which also now includes a weird little string. There are 2 shrimp tails, some other, maybe shrimp shell kind of outside bits, a full-on piece of string. I believe in the other bag at some point, he found what looked a whole lot like floss. which sucks.
Don't like flossing?
Not someone else's floss in my cereal.
I mean, it could have been like clean floss, like fresh. They're just like, hey, after you eat cereal, why don't you flush a little?
Here was a theory that a couple of people posed on Twitter that Jensen has said he also assumes is currently his working theory. He's since, by the way, taken this box to a lab to get tested to prove that it is in fact shrimp and to try to get to the bottom of this because Cinnamon Toast Crunch has been so bleeping weird about it.
Also to try and figure out why kids love the taste of Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
They're not going to be able to figure that one out in the lab, Beards.
That's because they're adults.
And the answer? Shellfish.
Are you a Cinnamon Toast Crunch guy, Josh?
Well, my answer today is different than it was yesterday.
Yeah, because I feel like we have talked about Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Let's circle back. Let me give you the payoff here really quick of the theory.
Enjoyment of it.
We'll talk about good old CTC in a moment. Somebody tweets, the black stuff is rat droppings baked onto the squares. The shrimp and string are collections. It looks like something got into a bag of dry mix and nested. Now, Rudy, you asked me a very interesting question.
Yes.
Do I like Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
Hey, Josh, do you like Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
I used to have an argument that it might be the best cereal currently in the game.
Yeah. Something happened. Something changed up.
If the box said Cinnamon Toast Crunch, now with a prize inside, I go, ooh, a prize. And there's a little asterisk, and I look at the small print, and it says, contents from a rat's nest. I think I might reassess some things.
I mean, I like shrimp.
They're not even full shrimps. They're just the tails.
Best part.
It's the part you're not supposed to eat.
You can actually eat
you can,
shrimp tails.
Yeah, you can.
Especially if they're flavor blasted.
Yeah. Cinnamon makes it even better.
We might be able to Google this at some point during the break. I remember stories of I almost gagged. There was some story a long time ago. It might not even have been real. I think it was old enough that I wasn't sure how to read the internet. But about there being like a rat in somebody's McDonald's High C cup or something. Back when McDonald's had High C. That they like drank and then found or something like that. If you start looking for like earlier 2000s McDonald's dead animal sort of contents.
Say in 2014, a Canadian man found a dead mouse in his McDonald's cup of coffee.
Oh! There's no way!
Ohio lawsuit alleges live mouse found in his cup.
A live mouse?
Oh, no, in his milkshake. Ohio lawsuit alleges live mouse found in McDonald's milkshake.
Oh!
Kenneth Moyer Jr. of Talmadge is seeking $100,000 or more. I feel like you should get more if it's live.
No kidding!
Also, that mouse should probably get a little something. An Ohio man is suing McDonald's, claiming he got an extra he didn't order in his milkshake. A live mouse. Quote, the bottom line is, it's nasty and it's wrong. Moyer, 43, construction worker, said Tuesday. Quote, however it got in there, it was wrong. End quote.
I still think about some of the stories in that general vein to this day. I think I saw one like on the news when I was a child at some point that has stuck with me.
Mm-hmm.
I really like Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I don't want to eat any cereal right now. Like ever again.
NDSU student says he found mouse in McDonald's drink. McDonald's got a mouse problem, maybe.
The first one was a live mouse in a milkshake?
Yeah.
McDonald's can't take your order.
Yeah, I'll have a McFlurry, and that's actually it.
Okay, would you like any mousexins with that?
Sorry, what was that? Don't want any mix-ins? Yeah, more or less.
2006, Nanny found a dead rat in her bacon ranch salad.
I don't think I would ever be able to eat again. Also, neither of you guys laughed at mouse sins.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
That's because you were reading. You're preparing your next reference.
It's true.
Oh.
Egg McMuffin rat is latest star in New York subway.
What? Hold on, that's probably a rat eating an Egg McMuffin.
Yeah, you know Pizza Rat? It's
Yeah.
Egg McMuffin rat. It's just a rat eating an Egg McMuffin on the subway.
Here's the other thing, and here's why.
He was carrying it down the subway stairs.
Here's the thing about this Cinnamon Toast Crunch rat's nest. The odds are someone somewhere is probably going to open a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch and find the owner of these items. And if I open a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch and I find a Cinnamon Toast mouse, I'm never going to eat or sleep again. I'm going to die of starvation at the end of that week. I really wanted to break on mouse ins. Oh, shut up, Beard. Stop nodding at me. We can go 2 minutes over. Bleep off. But what I really need right now is not for someone to tell me what time it is and that we need to break. What I really need is for someone to give me a good rodentia-based food pun. But I'm honestly doubled over in a way right now that's making it really hard for me to do better than mouse ins. The Cinnamon Toast Crunch thing is the R-rated spin-off of Ratatouille gone wrong. And I hate it. I hate it so much. Beards, listen, if you want to take a break so bad, you can come up with a pun. It's just the issue that's just the problem. It's the world we're living in right now.
Mouse!
Take the show with you wherever you go. Listen live on the Sports Radio 810 mobile app and 810WHB.com.
Hi, this is Tamara Day of HGTV's Bargain Mansions. Watching the tournament in style these days is from a sweet space at home. If your entertainment space needs some fine-tuning, enter the Madness Makeover Contest for your chance to get my design plan and hook up with what it takes to make your space great, worth over $9,500. Brought to you by Nutter Home Loans, myself, and my store, Growing Days Home.
No purchase necessary. Visit 810WHB.com/makeover for rules and your chance to score. James B. Nutter and Company, DBA Nutter Home Loans, NMLS 2067.
Wasn't doing anything different, wasn't trying to train for a marathon or compete in American Ninja Warrior, was just playing racquetball with my buddies, and that's how the injury happened.
That led to Achilles surgery and years of chronic pain for Will Burt, a patient at QC Kinetics.
There's always been tenderness and inflammation, and I had the surgery to repair the tendon, but it didn't repair my quality of life.
Desperate for relief, Will tried the regenerative cell treatments at QC Kinetics, and finally the pain was gone.
The good news is it's a solution without having to go under the knife. A solution that my body can kind of regenerate and take care of itself versus surgery, pain pills, rehab, and all that goes along with that.
Patients like Will are raving over the results. Call QC Kinetics today for your free consultation. 816-412-6299.
Thanks to the guys at QC Kinetics, quality of life is just a lot better.
QC Kinetics, off 435 and State Line. 816-412-6299.
Hey, Kansas City, it's Jeff Briggs with Victory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, home of the Victory Effect, our pledge to drive down vehicle pricing for the city we love. Folks, it's our favorite time of year. It's Ram Truck Month. At Victory, we require all our sales associates to earn Ram Expert certification. We want to provide you with an educated buying experience that helps you get the job done right the first time. Now, until the end of March, we are bringing back our You Choose offer with 2 great deals. You choose up to $10,000 off any new 2020 Ram 1500 Bighorn or 2020 1500 Laramie in stock. Are you wanting to take advantage of those low interest rates? If so, you can take up to $5,000 off any new 2020 Ram 1500 Bighorn or Laramie and get 0% for 6 years. Yes, $5,000 off plus 0% for 6 years. Visit us at Kansas City's only automotive outlet mall, the Legends Auto Plaza, on the southeast corner of 435 and Parallel, just east of Nebraska Furniture Mart, or online at victorymotorskc.com, where our first price is better than their last.
Diamonds happen to be April's birthstone, but let's face it, who wouldn't love a gift of diamond jewelry? At Shane Company, our beautiful diamonds are natural and ethically sourced. We handpick them for their extraordinary fire and brilliance. You'll notice the superior quality right away. You can see the difference. Diamonds will never go out of style. Come to Shane Company for stunning diamond gifts. We have unique styles in every price range, created by our in-house design team and made to last for generations. Give her a diamond solitaire necklace, a tennis bracelet, stud earrings, diamond accented hoop earrings, or a stunning 3-stone ring. Shane Company jewelry is made so well, with attention to every detail, that we can provide our warranty for life for free. Your gift will take her breath away. Now you have a friend in the jewelry business. Shane Company and shaneco.com.
Hey, James, that order just doubled. We got to move fast here.
Indeed knows unexpected growth can stretch your business thin.
Somebody pick up that phone.
Like at Luca's Gourmet Frozen Pizza Company. To operate at scale, he needs to get started hiring right away.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. And the moment you sponsor a job on Indeed, you get a short list of quality candidates from our resume database. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get a $75 credit for your first sponsored job post. Terms and conditions apply.
This is Almost Entirely Sports with Joshua Brisco.
Listen, when I finish 1/2 of my foot long, I have a cookie. And
You have a halftime cookie?
Yeah.
I didn't know
And then I
this.
have the rest of my sandwich, and then I have the other cookie. It doesn't work the same if you only have one cookie. I'm not splitting that thing in half.
On Sports Radio 810 WHB.
The Twitch chat's gotten really gross.
It has.
Somebody said, that clearly I've never worked in food service. I have. And we never got mice in anything. Somebody mentioned that there's, you can have a certain amount of, pollutants in your drinking water or, bug parts in your prepackaged food.
Mm-hmm. Bug snacks.
Here's the thing. There is a very obvious line. I don't know where the line is, but there is a range. If I have no idea that there is something gross at a molecular level in my food, how am I going to complain about it? If it doesn't make me sick and I can't see it, fine. If I find a rat's treasures in my cereal box, that is way over on the other side of the line.
Or shrimp tails.
I don't want to find shrimp in my cereal. I don't know how this is such a controversial take. And the Chiefs should sign a tackle. Why is this that hard?
You are listening to Almost Entirely Sports with Joshua Brisco on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
With its dedication to bringing wellness to Kansas City, CBD American Shaman is excited to announce the opening of Shaman's Leewood Total Wellness at 117th and Row in Camelot Court. Shaman's Leewood Total Wellness offers medical aesthetics and IV nutrient therapy, and there is a full-service CBD American Shaman store there too. Start your journey to wellness with Shaman's Leewood Total Wellness. Call 913-227-9150 or go to shamantotalwellness.com. Life is better with the feather.
The Kansas City Comets are back in action on Friday night, March 26th at 7 p.m. at Cable Dahmer Arena against the St. Louis Ambush for Game 1 of the MASL playoffs. Kansas City Comets soccer is fast, furious, high-scoring action for the entire family. And parking is always free at Cable Dahmer Arena. And this season, all seats are socially distanced for fan safety. Get your playoff tickets today for the Kansas City Comets versus the St. Louis Ambush on Friday, March 26th by calling 888-9-COMETS or by visiting Ticketmaster.com.
Attention, men. Over half of you will suffer from erectile dysfunction. There is a solution, the Kansas City Men's Clinic. If you're having trouble getting or maintaining an erection or both, and regardless of age, medical condition, or performance issue, they can help. Call the Kansas City Men's Clinic today. For a limited time, a confidential consultation and all testing is only $99. Call 816-608-8189. That's 816-608-8189. Or go to thekansascitymensclinic.com.
What's up, Kansas City? Jake Gutierrez here to tell you about my friends from Lightstream, a division of SunTrust Bank. Are you thinking about the high interest rate credit cards you used over the holidays? I am. When it comes to refinancing your credit cards, you've got options. But only Lightstream was ranked #1 by J.D. Power for customer satisfaction with personal loans. Lightstream's credit card consolidation loans start at just 5.95% APR with autopay and excellent credit. You could save yourself thousands in interest. You can even get your money the same day that you apply. Apply today for a credit card consolidation loan from the company J.D. Power, ranked #1 for customer satisfaction in personal loans. Plus, get an additional interest rate discount simply by going to lightstream.com/Jake. It's lightstream.com/Jake. Subject to credit approval, rates range from 5.95% APR to 19.99% APR. Include 0.50% autopay discount. Lowest rates require excellent credit. Terms and conditions apply. Offers are subject to change without notice. Visit lightstream.com/Jake for more information.
Don't miss a minute of the madness. Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Tip controlled by Ards up top. Washington to tie. All fire miss. Rebound Liddell. And Oral Roberts does it.
2018's Cinderella just got a repeat invite to the Sweet 16. The Loyola Chicago Ramblers have upset the #1 seed Illinois.
Your home for March Madness. Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Come experience the Midwest's only Greg Norman signature design golf course and development, Stone Canyon. Stone Canyon is recognized by major golf publications as a top 5 public course in Missouri and best residential course in the Midwest. Stone Canyon features bent grass tees, fairways, and greens with rock walls and dramatic views towards downtown KC. Check out their new cart fleet equipped with Visage GPS systems and Bluetooth speakers. Stone Canyon is easy to get to, just a mile north of I-70 at Woods Chapel Road. Call 816-228-3333 or go online at stonecanyongolf.com.
Every weekday on Sports Radio 810, tune in to hear Kansas City's favorite local lineup. At 6 a.m., wake up with the Border Patrol with Stephen St. John and Nate Bucati. At 10, it's The Zone with Jason Anderson. Now at 2, get into the program with Soren Petro. And wrap up your day on Almost Entirely Sports with Joshua Brisco. Kansas City's hometown sports station. Sports Radio 810 WHB. Kansas City's favorite sports station. 20 years and counting. Sports Radio 810 WHB, Kansas City. This is Almost Entirely Sports with Joshua Brisco.
You go get your Taco Bell, and then you immediately stop at the gas station, get a bag of ice, go home, fill the bathtub with ice, eat your Taco Bell, and then when it's time to slip into the ice bath, you just take care of that and get on with your life.
On Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Joining us live from an undisclosed ice bath in Lawrence, Kansas, not because of the Taco Bell, but because of just sort of the general state of things. Nick Schwerdt of KLWN. You can listen to Rock Chalk Sports Talk on KLWN 3 to 6 weekdays. That's 1320 AM and 101.7 FM. Nick, I thought at the very least that you may be able to have the chaser to our couple of weeks of KU football-focused conversations and activities with a little bit of tournament action. And then KU got COVID bounced in the Big 12 tournament, and then they got just good old-fashioned trounce bounced out of the NCAA tournament. Is Eeyore just trotting through the streets of Lawrence right now? Is there just a big gray cloud over literally everything?
I wouldn't say that. I think, it is KU's an easy target right now. If you're a Mizzou fan or a K-State fan or anybody who just is going to revel in KU's misery, now's the time to pounce, right? Seize the opportunity because you won't get a better chance than this. I think basketball-wise, as bad as that loss was, I think most KU fans knew this team wasn't going to a Final Four, and this is probably one of the 3, if not top 2 worst teams that Bill Self's had in Kansas. So the fact that they lost in the fashion that they did, embarrassing, yet it's still about what I think a lot of people expected. I said throughout the season I thought that a Sweet 16 appearance would be a successful season for them, and they didn't make it there. So I don't know if that necessarily means it's a disappointment, but with the COVID issues they were dealing with heading into the tournament, it's somewhat understandable. And the matchup issues that USC presented. So the basketball stuff is I think a little bit more easily explainable than the rest of the smoldering house fire that is Kansas athletics right now.
I definitely think that's fair. And I mean, you mentioned like the way that game went, the margin there really did, I think, cap off just an absolutely, obviously atrocious month of KU athletics. But also, like you said, I think USC ended up being favored by a point heading into that game. As soon as, I think it was after Drake beat Wichita State and I was reevaluating my bracket, I thought, USC is probably going to beat KU. That's probably going to happen. That all, like, I don't want to say it was telegraphed. It wasn't necessarily obvious, but it wasn't a surprise. I think what was a surprise was to see it become an absolute bloodbath, even just within the micro of specifically that game, where it just, I tweeted this during the game and afterwards as well. It felt a little bit like the Super Bowl, only insofar that, like, it was never a question as to who was the better team, and it was evident early that it was going to get ugly.
Yeah, I think all season long, KU's sort of MO, or really over the past month and a half when they really started to turn it around, I think that was basically when February hit, how KU was winning games was they established an identity defensively as being one of the elite defenses in the country, yet the offense was always inconsistent. I mean, that's the worst offense the Bill Self's ever had at Kansas.
Yeah.
The offense was always bad. The defense started to get good. So when you got to March, whether it was USC or anybody else, you knew that the formula to win games was going to be hang your hat on your defense, hang your hat on the one thing that you know you can bring to the table every night, and hope that you bring enough offensively. On Monday against USC, they didn't have enough offensively, and that defense that had been so steady over the past 7 weeks all of a sudden disappeared. I mean, Jesse Newell wrote it best, I thought. It was a layup line at the end of the first half for USC, and that's where they lost the game. Those are the sorts of games where KU sort of grinds it out to halftime, and everybody sends off a generic tweet or turns to their friend and says, no, they're down 10. Oh, they should be lucky to be down 10. Except they weren't down 10. They were down 20, and you knew no matter what they did in the second half, it probably wasn't going to be enough to come back and win. So, yeah, it was disappointing in that regard, in that your identity and the thing that Bill Self prides himself on as a coach more than anything else, which is playing elite defense. He's always said that defense is more about want-to than it is necessarily skill. And the want-to wasn't there. They looked flustered. They got punched in the mouth in the first couple minutes of that game when Isaiah Mobley came out and started raining it in from three, and they sort of got staggered and never really found their footing again. So that, I think, is the part that is probably most disappointing. But I've said this all week. I don't know how players would feel. I would tend to believe that if you're going to lose in the NCAA tournament, it's probably a little bit easier to cope with losing by 34 than it is losing off a buzzer beater or clawing your way back into that game and losing by 2. I'm not saying that's necessarily a better outcome, but in terms of coping and moving on, players, fans, coaches, you get outplayed like that, it's probably a little bit easier to just chalk it up to, I don't know what we were supposed to do. We were never going to win that game.
And so that sort of portion of the conversation I actually find a little more interesting at this point, because you're right. That game was over early. The reason behind it was pretty obvious. It wasn't like KU. I mean, the offense was nightmarish, obviously, but it wasn't like they're usually incredibly precise sharpshooters had their worst night of the year. Like, just nothing was happening. Every flaw that we knew already existed was exaggerated on the biggest stage of the year so far. That, I think, is relatively straightforward. What I do think is interesting is the reason and the way KU got here. Obviously, dealing with COVID, specifically for McCormick and Wilson, like you lose your size. That's not Mitch Lightfoot. Even as McCormick played, I think he ended up around 25 minutes in the first round. He ended up over Bill Self's estimate. I don't know how winded he was. I don't know the state of Jalen Wilson's body. Like, the thing that I think is most interesting is the stuff that Bill Self said after the game about how, yeah, I mean, they need to get more athletic. They maximized what they were working with this year. That to me is a pretty clear sort of backhanded indictment of them just not being that talented this year, which is a conversation I think we talked about towards the beginning of the year. You tweeted about, Jeff Goodman tweeting about that and KU fans getting mad about that being ridiculous when it ended up being proven true. This team just didn't have your typical KU amounts of talent.
No, and I think by the end of the season that was very apparent to anybody who had watched. And you can go through specific, positions and try to say, okay, this is why that one wasn't good enough for this one. I think it's probably most easily summarized by looking at the lack of playmakers, the lack of shot creators. I can't tell you how many times on Monday, I mean, it's kind of funny. If we had a camera like you guys do set up in our studio, you would have seen on Tuesday morning my producer and I, Derek, reenacting the Kansas offense from Monday night. Because what it basically was like dribble between your legs, and sort of drive 5 feet into the lane, and then sort of skittishly look back out to the perimeter and pass to somebody else, who would then dribble between his legs and drive 5 feet into the perimeter, and then kick it out to the next person. And they would just do that for possessions on end and winding up with usually ill-advised contested jumpers, because this team doesn't have anybody that can beat you off the dribble. This team doesn't have anybody that's a really skilled passer and a driver where they could get into the lane and still have the wherewithal to find the open man on the perimeter or at all times just sort of know what to do, whether you want to chalk that up to feel or skill, playmaking ability, shot creating ability, whatever you want to call it. This team didn't have it. Marcus Garrett, bless his heart, was about as close as KU got to that, and he sort of willed himself, I think, in a lot of ways to become that because he knew that's what this team needed. But that's not him. He's not Sharon Collins. He's not Devontae Graham, Frank Mason, Tyshawn Taylor, et cetera, et cetera. The list goes on and on. The team didn't have that. And so when you sort of move forward as to what is at the top of the to-do list or the wish list for Bill Self and his staff for next season, I think that's where you start.
Why? This is a very large question that could have a number of answers, but why didn't they have one of those guys? It's become, especially recently, like a borderline foregone conclusion that there will be someone on the team who can come up the floor and create their own shot, or find someone who's going to be able to make a shot a little more easily because they've paid more attention to them. You mentioned Devontae Graham, Devon Dotson, and is that an issue of simply not enough fish in the sea? Is that a Bill Self recruiting miss? Was there an expectation that someone on this roster was going to achieve that level and ultimately never did? Do you think there is a relatively clean answer to that question?
I think some of those things can be true simultaneously. I would first start with, let's just look big picture here, okay? I think I would first say KU's been really blessed to have those guys, to have a string of basically 5 years.
Yeah.
Where you go back to I would say probably 6 years, because I would say the final 2 years of Frank, 2016, 2017, of Frank Mason being your starting point guard. You had 1 year of Devontae being that guy, and then 2 years of Devon Dotson. You would say, okay, that's a really strong run of steady point guard play, and that's a good place to start if you want to be a consistent basketball team. Okay, it wasn't that good in 2019 in the first year of Devon Dotson, right? We remember All-American Devon Dotson in 2020, but 2019 was, in a lot of ways, similar to this past season for Kansas, where you never really found your footing. You never really found an identity. But you look back in that chunk of time, that seems like a long time. It seems like a long time. Because for most teams, that would be. To think that you could complain about not having 6 consecutive years of great point guard play. You only had 5. Like, so many teams would kill for that. But Kansas is different. You're right. But I can still go back to the years of, think about 2014, when you had Andrew Wiggins, Joel Embiid, Wayne Selden, yet your starting point guard was Nadir Tharp.
Mm-hmm.
And think about the year before that, 2013. You had Jeff Withey, the best defensive player in the country. You had Ben McLemore, a future top 10 pick. And you had Elijah Johnson starting a point guard, who, kind of like Marcus Garrett this year, wasn't really a point guard. He was just asked to play one. So I think what's popular, and I think maybe I don't know if you're necessarily hinting at it, but I think there's a lot of people who probably assume this, is that, this is what happens because of the infractions case that's hanging over KU's head. And maybe it is. Maybe KU would have went out in 2019 and got a top 10 recruit. And I couldn't even tell you from 2019, like which guys they potentially missed out on. I can try and pull it up here while I'm talking. But either way, like if you want to say, okay, well, they had this one guy who in an alternate reality would have chose KU had they not had the infractions case hanging over their head, sure, maybe they would have. But I think this is also just kind of how college basketball works. I said this on Monday night, man. If the NCAA tournament wouldn't have been canceled last year, and there's no way to know that KU would have went to the Final Four, even though they were the prohibitive favorite, anything could have happened. But had fans not had that moment ripped away from them, we may not feel as down about this year's Kansas team. Because what if you were living in the wake of a Final Four run?
Mm-hmm.
And you know what we'd be saying right now? We'd be saying, this is what happens. You have a really good team. You have a championship contending team. What happens when a team wins lots of games? Generally speaking, I mean, it's because you've got a really talented roster. What do really talented players do? They go play in the NBA. They leave early. That's what happened. KU had the best team in the country last year. A bunch of guys left. So now you're in this sort of moment where you just had to piece it together this year. So, I mean, R.J. Hampton was a guy that KU at the 11th hour. I finally pulled it up. I have a slow internet. R.J. Hampton was a guy who KU thought they were going to get last year. He was the fifth-ranked player in the country. And he went on a podcast afterwards and said, no, if I would have went to college, I would have went to Kansas. But instead, he went to New Zealand and then played semi-pro basketball before he went to the NBA draft. So it's as simple as that, man. It's as simple as missing out on a guy like that to where a year later it leaves a bit of a void on your roster. So it's not something that I think big picture I would be super concerned with, even though that's been a popular talking point. KU is one or two additions in this offseason away from opening next year as a top 5-6 team in the country.
Yeah, and honestly, I mean, within the confines of this conversation, I'm less interested in, is this going to be a recurring problem than I am just simply how do they get to a point where we're talking about Kansas not being as talented as, and maybe in this case specifically, USC. Like the process that led here. And you're right. I mean, if they would have ended up with R.J. Hampton, the conversations would have been extremely different. And whatever the process would have been to be, is there a one and done guy? Is there somebody else who could have ended up at KU 2 or 3 years ago that becomes your multi-year Devon Dotson, Devontae Graham, Frank Mason type, whatever. I just find it interesting, and this might just be hyper-focusing back in on that statement at the end from Bill Self, where I think he was right. This team played to its ceiling so much towards the end of the year that I think a lot of people began to buy their ceiling as being significantly higher. I just think it's interesting that they were capped in a way that we just, you don't ever expect. This is the standard that KU has set for itself. I don't ever expect KU to have a ceiling lower than at least a Sweet 16 run. That at the absolute minimum, because again, that's just who they have shown themselves to be over an extremely long time. That's where the expectation gets set. I guess I am curious if you think that there will be an issue fielding a fully talented roster next year or in the years to come as they wait for the ultimate ruling on the infractions and everything. It seems like a very likely outcome that there would not be a postseason for them next year. I might be guessing too far in advance. But I don't know. I'm not all that interested necessarily in where they go from here, but you alluded to it being a popular talking point. Do you think that there's a misguided reading into the next couple of years of KU basketball now because of that?
Yeah, I do actually. I do and I haven't always felt this way. And honestly, this is more of, the past month or so of me just sort of coming around on this. You can point to, and this is what it's sort of funny to me, the way that people will sort of try to frame this stuff is, okay, Kansas was less talented than a normal Kansas team this year. Absolutely. That does not equal NCAA infractions is killing Kansas on the recruiting trail.
Right.
There could be a link there, but to act as if there is causation between those two things, you have to back it up with something. Because you can say, well, they're not getting the normal guys they've gotten in recent years. They're not getting the top 10 players, and that's why they're not good enough. Okay. Drew Timme wasn't a top 10 player in the country. He was ranked, I think, like 50th. Trace Jackson Davis of Indiana. He wasn't a top 20 player. He's a borderline All-American this year. I mean, look at just the freshmen this year. Did you watch LSU in the NCAA tournament? You see Cameron Thomas? That kid is a Bryce Thompson type. You see Sharif Cooper for Auburn this year averaging 20 points per game? Like, there are guys out there. Hunter Dickinson was one of the best big men in the country for Michigan this year. He was ranked 43rd in this last year's class. All right, so there are freshmen that are not in the top 10 that all of a sudden get to college and people go, oh, okay, maybe they're a little bit better than we thought they were coming out of high school. You know why? Because it's a very inexact science. We use recruiting rankings and the star system and the cumulative rankings to sort of make it easily digestible and easier to talk about. But they're not in any way, shape, or form scientific. I can look at this year's class. Want to know one guy who fell a little bit short of expectations this year? Bryce Thompson. They were so excited to get him. Mm-hmm. He was the top-rated player in the class. He was a McDonald's All-American had they had the game, but they didn't. He didn't do a whole lot. Now, I think they're really excited about his future. He sort of had a fragmented season with injury, came back from an injury, broke his hand. It was a weird year. And maybe Bryce Thompson being asked to do a little bit less and play to his natural position more is going to bring the best out of him next year. Like, I still have high hopes for him at Kansas. And I'm not saying at all this is on Bryce Thompson. I'm just saying that the idea that Kansas they have to get these top 10 players in the country year in and year out in order to be, quote-unquote, Kansas talented, I just think it's a little farcical. Like, I don't subscribe to that. And I think that there's a lot of programs, Virginia, Villanova, that have shown you know what? You don't really have to get top 10 surefire one-and-dones every year to consistently be amongst the best programs in the country. Because those two I just named, Villanova and Virginia, they're not bringing in. I mean, Villanova, as of late, has been. And Gonzaga, as of late, has been. But those are not programs that are perennially bringing in McDonald's All-Americans one-and-done. They are systems, they are cultures. In Kansas, before about 2010, 11, and I know the Wiggins year was the first year where they really went all in on it, but and that was sort of Bill Self's thing. I'll go get one of those guys, and I'll infuse him with some longer-term prospects, and I will mix those in with the experienced roster that we're already bringing back. I kind of looked at him and said, Bill Self has found the perfect sort of mix, the perfect recipe of how to build these classes. And these past couple of years have been more throwbacks than what we're used to as of late. So it's sort of a shock to the system to say, oh, KU's not going to go out and bring in top 10 classes year in and year out. They're not Duke. They're not Kentucky, and they never have been. Those two programs are separated from the pack in the way that they recruit. Bill Self's mantra has been player development. Nobody has taken those guys that are ranked 30th, 40th, 50th in their class and turned them into 10-year NBA players more successfully than Bill Self has. And I think that that's why I've sort of just shrugged my shoulders at these recruiting rankings. Like, yeah, this year it's really easy to point to it and say, see, this is what we thought was going to happen. Right? We thought that the recruiting was going to suffer, and this is proof that it is. Is it? I'm not convinced. And I said it at the end of one of my answers earlier, and I'll say it again. KU is a couple dudes this summer, a couple transfers, high school recruit away from being one of the top 5 teams entering next year's season. And at that point, are we still going to look at it and say, oh, this team's just not as talented, and it's all because of infractions case hanging over their head?
Nick, I'm sorry we've upset you so much.
No, you didn't. I just
Nick, I'm sorry. Listen, just please, Nick, please stop raising your voice at me. I can't take this for another answer. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that I have enraged you this way, and it won't happen again.
Is this kind of like you're Vince Vaughn in Wedding Crashers when he's blowing up balloon animals for all the kids at the wedding?
I'm gonna make it worse. I'm gonna make it worse. He's gonna yell at me again.
He's never seen Wedding. He's never seen the movie.
Make me a bicycle clown. Oh, you haven't.
He's never seen that movie.
I'm not gonna confirm or deny what Rudy just said.
He's never.
Because I don't want you to lash out at me again, Nick.
What have you been doing all these years?
Not watching that movie.
You're one of those guys. See, now I can tell. Rudy, tell me if you agree with this. I can tell Josh he's to the point of not having seen it, that he holds it like a badge of honor. And he wants to keep saying that he's never.
No, I really don't.
So here's the thing.
I really don't. Like
at one time, I think that was true. But I've also seen him now over the last 3 years be berated so much for the movies that he hasn't seen.
I voluntarily.
That I think now I do think I think there's shame, but also he likes when people shame him, so he'll never go and watch him.
I watched both. I watched Monty Python and the Holy Grail and The Life of Brian within the last 2 weeks. Beard, you can come to the microphone for this if you'd like. You're going to go ahead and scoot up. You're very far away. You go ahead and ask me the question.
How's Life of Brian?
I didn't like it very much.
How dare you?
I was stunned.
Beards only likes bad things.
I was stunned. No, I've only heard people say good things about it. I fell asleep at one point. I didn't think it was that funny. Holy Grail I thought was excellent. I didn't think Life of Brian was that funny. And honestly, that's maybe the most nervous I've ever been to admit anything on the radio. So I feel like it's only going to be a bloodbath from here on out.
Well, Holy Grail is, it is in the Holy Grail of
it was wonderful.
All-time comedies. We did a movie review bracket last year, right when the tournament got canceled, and I know Holy Grail was in it, but Wedding Crashers made our Final Four. We let our listeners and our followers on Twitter vote. Wedding Crashers made the Final Four. So take that for what you will. Maybe that should be the tipping point for you to go see it, Josh.
We talked about Over the Hedge earlier. That's my Holy Grail movie.
Did you feel like I was yelling at you earlier? Or did I sound angry when I gave that answer? That was a long answer, wasn't it?
I mean, well, so what I decided, you kind of peaked at the middle. It was a long answer. It was a good answer to a question that I didn't know was a much ballyhooed topic. I really didn't. Nowhere in my mind that I think, I think, hey, you didn't get all the talent they could have gotten this year because they're waiting on infractions. I think it might be a factor next year. But I didn't even know. You shed light on a take that I didn't even know was out there, and then you squashed it like a bug. Partway through, you got
universally accepted.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Nick. Please
throw it in as a footnote now.
No, I mean I'd love.
No,
I want you.
No,
it's okay. I'd much rather you finish your answer than yell at me again.
No, I was just saying, like, the reason why it may have sounded like an impassioned answer is because I feel like it is such a widely held belief that, like, oh, well, that's why, that's why they're not getting the recruits. It's the investigation. It's like, okay, you have to back it up with anything. And now it's become so tiresome. Like, people don't even go into explanations. They just sort of throw it in as a footnote as this sort of catch-all for why Bill Self and this staff haven't been performing on the recruiting trail as they have. And I just, like I said, I'm not convinced that that's actually factual. But, I mean, we'll see.
Well, and
give it another couple years, and
what you're actually getting at is that Bill Self and the coaching staff just can't develop talent anymore. Is what I took away from that.
See, that's an unintended consequence of the answer that I gave that I didn't even realize. So maybe you're onto something. You're the one cracking the case now.
I did wonder if you were gonna toe over in that direction at all, but I didn't want to push you there because I just couldn't. The tears were like welling up but not falling. And you're legally not allowed to cry on Twitch, or they'll ban you from the platform. And so I just couldn't. I couldn't risk that.
I've seen a lot of people cry on Twitch, Josh. It's all right, buddy.
Yeah. Listen. Well, we'll see. Maybe I'll take a few deep breaths over the course of the break, and we'll see what happens. When we were texting earlier, you asked specifically about the if we could have a conversation about the cinnamon toast shrimp that has taken the internet over. We talked about this last segment before you joined us, so the listening audience should be caught up. I'm not going to rehash everything. What was it that struck you about the cinnamon toast shrimp that has taken over the internet and also ruined cereal for me maybe forever?
Well, there are a couple things. I mean, this is the number one story in America right now. I think we could probably all agree on that.
Absolutely.
First off, the dude's married to Topanga.
Yes.
Right?
That's what I said.
Can we address that?
Correct.
That's what I said.
Like, that was a footnote. I didn't hear about that until 24 hours after this story became a thing.
100%.
He's a straight shooter.
Let's dive into this just a little bit. The thing that caught me by surprise, and I will just go ahead and say this, I am 100%, I don't know how you guys feel, I'm 100% in the camp that this is all fake. And this guy's going to screw himself because, like, Cinnamon Toast Crunch is going to sue him if they find out that this was all a bit and they, it's libel or so. I don't know. I'm not a lawyer, but that can't be legal. So I think this is all a bit, mostly because if you follow along this guy, I mean, he's doing interviews with TMZ yesterday, and he is, taking he's putting his Cinnamon Toast Crunch box in his car and putting his seatbelt on it and taking it to a lab to get tested for poison because he thought the black specks were rat poop. Like, okay, did you have anything else on the docket yesterday? Like, did you just wake up and drop everything to tackle this Cinnamon Toast Crunch issue? Right? Like, that's the part to me that tipped it off that it was fake. Like, dude, come on. You had nothing else on the schedule. You were that free to where you said, well, what any rational person would do is strap this Cinnamon Toast Crunch box into my car and take it to a lab to get tested for poison. And do you just walk into labs?
No, Cinnamon Toast Crunch is apparently paying for it. But yes, Nick, if you found rat nest leavings in your cereal, would that not become your whole day? I would probably take the day off of work. I would at least not come in any early.
He's doing the show from home.
Oh, you're going to call your boss and say, I can't come in today.
No, he's just not showing up.
I found a shrimp tail in my cereal.
100%. He sends us a message on WhatsApp saying, "Hey, probably doing the show from home today, dealing with some stuff."
Yeah.
And then
I need to take a personal day.
He's in the car driving to the
Rudy,
lab on the phone.
How would you feel, Rudy, when you found out what it was that was keeping him from coming into work today?
I think I'd understand it, honestly.
I would hope he would be fearing for my life.
You guys are absurd.
I've tried to miss work for far less.
Also, he's married to Topanga and has a podcast. And during a pandemic, you don't think he had 4 hours to take some cereal to a lab? He's not the president.
This man isn't doing anything.
If Joe Biden found this in his cereal, I would expect someone else to handle it. And we know he's a Raisin Bran guy for sure. But like,
part of that.
This is a man that has money in a podcast. I just don't. Please stop yelling at me, Nick.
No, the podcast is what made me think he was faking it. I thought it was like a bit for his podcast.
Do you think Topanga would marry a liar?
See, that's the thing. I think Topanga would no. Like, I don't think Topanga's married anybody who's not pure of soul.
I don't know about that.
They're high school
I
sweethearts.
don't even know what her real name is.
It's Topanga.
She had it legally
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
I do love that Cinnamon Toast Crunch's response to his initial tweet was, "No, that's not a shrimp tail."
Like, nah.
Not even you faked this. That would have at least been a little different. But to be like, no, that's just more sugar.
They could have just been like, "You put this in there," and they're just like, "Nope."
Honestly, that's why I think it's real. Is because Cinnamon Toast Crunch was just like, no, I mean, that's just not even a shrimp tail.
Sugar.
It's like, man, we are working on a different set of rules at this point. I feel like. I think if they were just like, yeah, we'll look into it, but that definitely didn't happen at our factory. Maybe it happened at Costco. That happened along the line somewhere. I'm not sure that's true. But to just go, those aren't shrimp tails, makes them less reliable to me than Topanga's husband.
What if it wasn't anybody at the Cinnamon Toast Crunch factory? What if it was some disgruntled person who has a vendetta against Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
I mean, it could be.
And they were just out to get him. And thank God they found the right person, Imagine if it were you or I. That story's not going viral. You're not doing an interview with TMZ. But you're Topanga's husband, and all of a sudden, people start paying attention. When Topanga's husband talks, people listen.
Do we think
Everybody
Topanga was
knows.
the real target here?
Oh, wow. Is it an attack?
Wow.
Wow.
Oh, boy. We may be looking
That's
this all wrong.
incredible.
This might not be on Cinnamon Toast Crunch. This may have been an attack on everything that's good in this world.
My theory, by the way, now with Nick's point there in mind, this was an attack from Big Malto Meal, the off-brand brand that just has bags of cereal and baskets in the cereal aisle. So we're gonna take these cinnamon toast F's down a peg.
I think General Mills is like Cinnamon Toast Crunch is
Yeah.
a General Mills. And General Mills is obviously like that's your biggest one. So it would make sense. That's who you go after. You target General Mills cereal.
It says on the new
Are you
bag
guys
of
done eating Cinnamon Toast Crunch now? Are you guys not going to be able to ever eat it again?
for a little bit. It's definitely the block is hot right now for sure.
No joke. There is a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch in my house. Not mine. It's a roommate's, but there is a box of Cinnamon Toast Crunch on the
All
counter.
right, I'm gonna bless you guys. I'm gonna change everybody's life who's listening right now. If you can't stomach Cinnamon Toast Crunch, for a period of time, let me give you an alternative, okay? And shout out to my buddy Kevin, my roommate from college, who introduced this to me. You take 66% Cinnamon Life and you mix it with 33% Crispix. You always see the Crispix. You're like, who buys Crispix?
Yeah.
This is what Crispix is meant for, because the Cinnamon Life gets soggy and it loses its texture, and then you're just eating mush, and that's no good. Crispix never loses its texture, hence the name, Crispix. So you go 2/3 Cinnamon Life, 1/3 Crispix. It's going to change your life.
That sounds amazing.
Interesting.
I will say, I think Cinnamon Life. I think the last time we had a cereal conversation on this show without shellfish being involved in any way, I think I may have made the call that I think Cinnamon Life might actually be my singular favorite cereal. Texturally, you're right; it's a bit of a race against time, but it's got that little cinnamon sugar. It does a little dance on your tongue, but you don't have to go lay down because now you're in your mid to late 20s or early 30s, and that's your life now. It's a great cereal, and I've also never found, the leftovers of a rat's nest in it. So that's a huge plus in my mind.
They just skyrocketed. Cinnamon Life just skyrocketed up the cinnamon cereal power rankings. And you'd have to think at this point they're officially nipping at the heels of Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
Hey, I have a question. So, on Cinnamon Toast Crunch right now, their mascot, they're basically the little anamorphic. What is I was going to say animatronic, and that's not. That's Chuck E. Cheese.
Anthropomorphic.
Thank you, Beards. Good God, I was drowning. The little anthropomorphic little Cinnamon Toast Crunch guys with the big eyes and everything, right?
Yeah, they eat each other.
They used to have.
They're big on the cannibalism thing.
They used to have that little chubby chef on the box. I haven't seen him in a little while. You think he's the one? Maybe he planted this as the chef behind it all, and now he's off somewhere right now. He's off on some alternate social media site at the moment, saying something like, Whenever I was on the box, I never found these shrimp tails.
About that guy.
Yeah.
I forgot about that guy.
He orchestrated this whole thing. He got shoved into the background. He's now just working the assembly lines because the little anthropomorphic dudes are now the new mascots, and he wants his shine back.
I think it's important to
anthropomorphic
to know that anything's possible. Nothing should be written off the table at this moment. We should be investigating every avenue.
No, if this is the best time. No, this is the best time to buy Cinnamon Toast Crunch. This is the best time.
They always say it's the safest time to fly is after a plane crash.
Exactly.
I don't know if that's true.
It's going to happen twice in a week. You know what I mean?
Nah.
Well,
dude, they're going to tighten up the ship around. Who is it? General Mills.
Yeah.
That factory is going to be on the tracks more than it ever has been
for at least
after
1 month.
This episode,
I think,
and we have Topanga's husband to thank for it.
I think the sweet spot is about a week or two from now. Because here's the thing.
Oh, because there's still some circulation.
Whatever got into this box.
That's a good point.
Here's my fear is that we found stuff from a rat's nest in this one. My fear is there's a Cinnamon Toast Mickey in a box somewhere that I do not want to find But once it all gets through circulation, the next batch is going to be the blue meth that Walter White makes.
Yes.
It's going to be the good stuff.
This is the stuff that you buy and you put it. You get a plastic container that was meant that you know how you like store like maybe collectibles, cards, whatnot. You're buying one of those, but for a cereal box, which you can't find on Amazon.
Sure.
Heard the Sonic Show on a different podcast within the last week or two, and you store this because this is the good stuff. You're like, hey, this is the most pristine.
You could snort the April 2021 CTC for sure.
I'm going to get a box and cryogenically freeze it. Save it for my grandkids.
It's just nice to hear you laugh again, Nick, because I really thought for a while in there that we may have lost you forever because you believed that I believed that, I don't know, something about NCAA violations and the Bill Self was a bad coach. And I mean,
you will never recover.
You would have thought I had said something ridiculous like Bill Self may not have 100% real hair. Like I don't, and I'm not saying that because I don't want to make you mad at me, Nick. But I
hate that I came off as such an angry person because I'm.
No,
really
you're not, Nick. You're not, Nick. No, Nick. You're not an angry person. It was fine. You're great. The segment was great, and you don't scare me. It's because you're a wonderful person that didn't sound angry at all unless you wanted to, and then in which case you did. We'll let you go, Nick. Thank you.
Glad you learned your lesson.
No. Thank you, Nick. Please follow Nick Schwerdt on Twitter at Nick_Schwerdt. Please. I just can't have him raise his voice at me like that again. He's such a soft-spoken person until you start asking about recruiting, and then all of a sudden you'll bite your head off like one of those cannibalistic cinnamon toast cannibals.
Commercial scarred me back in the day.
If you make Nick mad, the only thing they'll find at the end of that interaction will be your shrimp tails.
Want more Almost Entirely Sports? Watch the show live on the Sports Radio 810 Facebook page.
The Tournament of Savings is at Robert Brogdon Buick GMC in Olathe. Get slam dunk deals on all remaining 2020 Buick models, including up to $15,000 off a new Buick Enclave or 32% off a new Buick Encore. Plus, they've got the area's largest inventory of 2021 GMC Sierra 1500s. You'll score big with Brogdon's outstanding selection, service, and savings. Visit Robert Brogdon Buick GMC on I-35 in Santa Fe and Olathe or at robertbrogdon.com. On select models includes all available incentives and rebates. See dealer for details.
We've been known as one of the top-rated lawn and tree companies in the Midwest for over 30 years. And last year, our 5-star ratings grew another 400%. And I think I know why. This is Larry Ryan at Ryan Lawn and Tree. And for some, seeing is believing. It's one thing to hear me talk on the radio about our college-degreed turf managers, horticulturists, and certified arborists. It's another thing altogether to actually watch them practice their craft at your home. And that's exactly what happened last year. Working from home, our customers saw our Ryan Pros in action, and your reviews made me feel very blessed. Ryan Pros are not low-paid seasonal workers like the other guys hire. They are employee owners recruited from the best college horticulture programs in the country. Visit us at ryanlawn.com today and have a Ryan Pro out for a free estimate. I think you'll notice a difference the moment you see that clean red truck. That's ryanlawn.com.
There's no such thing as quality of life when you are constantly in pain. No sleep, no work, no play without the pain. Enough is enough. Stephen St. John here to tell you about the medical professionals at QC Kinetics who help patients take back their quality of life with bold new breakthrough pain treatments. These are regenerative cell therapies that precisely target the root cause of the pain, usually caused by old injuries and arthritis, back pain, hip pain, shoulders and knees, even sciatic nerve pain. QC Kinetics' new gen therapies help restore and heal damaged tissue with long-term relief. No Band-Aid solutions. And they have amazing patient satisfaction reports. Best news? No surgery, no pain meds, and no downtime. Don't suffer one more day. Book your free consultation at QC Kinetics. Call now, 816-412-6299. Located right off 435 and State Line. That's 816-412-6299. 816-412-6299.
What does your smile say about you? Are you happy? Confident? Friendly? Getting and keeping that smile takes work. Proper brushing and flossing daily, and drinking fluoridated water. Fluoridated water has been in use for 75 years and is considered the most safe, equitable, and cost-effective way to prevent tooth decay. A healthy smile means a healthy person and a healthy community. For more information, visit health.mo.gov. A message from the Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services.
Hey, Kansas City, Stephen St. John here for Diamonds Direct. Did you know every diamond is unique? No two are the same. Even two diamonds that have the same grade on paper can look totally different in person. And here's another important fact. When buying a diamond, of the 4 C's, the cut is by far the most important one. You want a diamond that is properly cut, or you're going to end up with a dull diamond that just sits there. That's why I love to recommend Diamonds Direct. They don't even stock those B-list diamonds. Only the top cut grades ever make it to the showroom. After all, Diamonds Direct was born in a family of diamond cutters years ago. They know their stuff. They take pride in offering only the best and at the best value price. That's why I go to Diamonds Direct. A mind-blowing selection, up to 30 times ordinary stores, a no-pressure, no-risk environment, a complete objective diamond education, a free lifetime warranty with any purchase. It's a no-brainer, guys. Diamonds Direct is the total package. Luxury and value in one place with superior quality and the lowest prices. Diamonds Direct at 119th and Row, and tell them Stephen St. John sent you.
This is Almost Entirely Sports with Joshua Brisco.
No. Thank you.
On Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Not to be a real Nick about it, but whenever I was really mad at Twitter earlier in the show, you may be wondering, all right, Josh, who are you really yelling at?
Twitter?
Who are you really mad at here?
By the way, JT, yeah, Topanga is the same as Teen Topanga. Yes. Like from Boy Meets World.
Oh, also, before I forget, thank you for the 100 bits from Credible Hulk 85 on Twitch, and thanks to One Gunner Down for gifting a Tier 1 sub to JT. Thank you, everybody. The Twitch people.
Couldn't have gifted a Tier 2 sub? That's a joke. I'm kidding.
I'm not gonna hop on that train.
I'm kidding.
I think it's hilarious. What I would love, we may need some engineering on this, but I would love to get just a Snoop Dogg late night money gun just attached kind of over our heads whenever somebody subscribes or anything. It just shoots out that much money over the top of us.
So you can set it up in Twitch, like alerts. So when people subscribe or follow.
Yeah, it'll pop up on the screen.
It'll do something.
Yeah.
Now it would only do that on Twitch.
Right. That's actually something I've intended to actually set up.
Something that can be done.
I have that on my personal Twitch, where it's just a little gif of me, little Fire Elmo me pops up. It's great. What I'm specifically saying is I would like to engineer it to where whenever someone gives any sort of money in any form to the 810 Twitch, I want to have a literal, not a digital, a literal money gun that will shoot money over us.
So I can't get you money. I can get you Jazz Bucks. We can make that happen.
Yeah, that would do.
Actually, it might be cool. Jazz Bucks is colorful.
I just think we need, the main thing is that we
get Jazz to make Jazz Bucks but in our colors.
Yes.
That feels yellow. Doable, right? Get out of here.
Yellow's one of our colors. We just need some pink and blue.
It is yellow. Well, that is one of our colors, isn't it?
What I really need though, because the Jazz Bucks are like $20 or $25, right? We can't have it just like shoot like 10% out each time. I need there to be individual It could be literal Monopoly money or Snoop Bucks, ideally. But just whenever somebody subscribes.
Snoop Dogg have Snoop Bucks?
Yeah, that's what he was shooting at late night.
Oh,
they were Snoop Bucks.
I just assumed they were like actual money.
They have Snoop Dogg's face on them. They're outrageously good.
Is that like Dogecoin?
Yes.
Can I buy it?
Thanks, One Gunner Down and Incredible Hulk for the gifted sub and the 100 bits respectively.
Ooh, Chuck E. Cheese coins. Good idea, Gunner Down. Can we get Chuck E. Cheese coins?
Boy,
Can we get an animatronic Chuck E. Cheese in this corner set of this mascot? And every time somebody subscribes, it just throws coins on us?
No.
It just makes it rain, but with coins?
Nope. We can't, actually.
We call that making it hail.
We will not do that.
Please?
If we did, I would have taken our animatronic Chuck E. Cheese and coated him in cinnamon toast dust.
Are you scared of Chuck E. Cheese?
Behind me 24/7? Yeah, sure.
It wouldn't be 24/7. It would be 3 hours a day, like 4 days a week.
3, 4?
Sometimes 5.
Yeah.
Sometimes 3.
Are you going to make the same joke about Chuck E. Cheese being in a Cinnamon Toast Crunch bag right now?
No, I was going to make the joke that whenever somebody subscribes, Chuck E. Cheese would throw a Cinnamon Toast Crunch at you instead.
and then one time a
And then there's your
live
shrimp
shrimp. I got to read this thing from Twitter here. This is very quick.
Read it.
This is what I wanted to get to at the beginning of the segment. So I tweeted several hours ago. This isn't even an opinion. Right now, the Chiefs don't have a starting left tackle, center, DE2, or wide receiver 2. Not great starters, just any starters at all. Got a response from someone I've never seen on Twitter before. 3 words. Relax, shock jock.
He just calls them like he sees them.
That's tweet of the year.
What?
Tweet of the bleeping
What?
year.
First of all,
if you're listening, guy, just respond to Josh at least once a week with that.
there was no punctuation, and clearly his reading comprehension is
even
not
better.
great. So I'm sure he heard
even
that
better.
and went like, oh, somebody else had a good idea. That's interesting. Good tweet by them. I wonder if they'll tweet again. I don't think I've ever gotten shock jock, ever. Mainly because I'm not that jockey. Shocky, yes. I'm Jeremy Shockey. This whole time, take off my mask, I've been Jeremy Shockey. But that's not a shock jock take, though. They just don't have, like, the depth chart's basically a void. Anyway, I'm a shock jock now. I guess he could be talking about the taser bet that's incoming. In that case, it might be literally true. Still not that much of a jock, though. We'll be shocked.
Yeah, you should just relax, shock jock.
Somebody else told me that we need to not worry about wide receiver 2 because Kelsey's wide receiver 1, Hill is wide receiver 2, and Clyde's basically wide receiver 3, and I wanted to throw myself off this balcony.
At JB Brisco, at Beards McFly, at Not That Rudy, at Sports Radio 810. Just do it already. Sports Radio 810 is proud to be Kansas City's home for the National Football League.
Winds up, he throws a long pass. Wide open Hill. Catches the ball at the 22 of San Francisco. What a play by Mahomes.
From Monday night to Sunday night and every game in between. Keep it right here on your exclusive home for the NFL playoffs, and the Super Bowl.
The Chiefs are going back to the Super Bowl.
Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Hey everyone, it's Tim Grunhart. You know I've been around Kansas City since being drafted in 1990, and I knew after the first season that I was here, this was going to be home. Kansas Cityans embraced me, and I didn't look back. One of the things I love about Kansas City are the great people. People like my friends at Roberts Robinson Chevrolet Buick GMC of Excelsior Springs. Cars and trucks are very personal to me, so having the best is important. I've been a customer for a few years now, and I couldn't be happier. They're the professionals, they're courteous, and more importantly, they make me feel like family. Roberts Robinson is what Kansas City's all about. Good people working hard to keep us going. Right now, they have their 2020 sell-down event. There's only a few 2020s left at these low prices. Till the end of March, there's 0% financing for up to 72 months on select models. Drive to Excelsior Springs and check out Roberts Robinson, or shop online at robertsrobinson.com. Tell them that Mr. Truck sent you, a.k.a. Grunny.
Love the new car smell, but think the car shopping process stinks? Check out OneRequest.com. Hi, this is Eric Westfall. We started OneRequest in Kansas City to make car shopping easy. We have over 5 million new and used listings. And with OneRequest, you don't share your personal information with sellers until you want to, which means you control your car shopping experience. We even have a concierge service for those who want the VIP treatment. Experience car shopping made easy. Request your car today at OneRequest.com.
OneRequest is not responsible for what you do with all the time you save.
Squeaky doors, clogged sinks, finicky engines. When things break around the house, you take care of it. However, when something's off in the bedroom, you just try not to think about it. Come on, man, what are you waiting for? Take care of it. Go to GetRoman.com/JakeG now. Why Roman? Because you get a free online evaluation and ongoing care for ED, all from the comfort and privacy of your home. A U.S. licensed healthcare professional will work with you to find the best treatment plan. If medication is appropriate, it ships to you free with 2-day shipping. The whole process is straightforward and discreet. Getting started is simple. Just go to GetRoman.com/JakeG and complete an online visit. Take care of your ED without leaving your home. Complete an online visit today to connect with a healthcare professional and take care of it. Go to GetRoman.com/JakeG now and you'll get $15 off your first month. That's GetRoman.com/JakeG. It's really time to take care of your ED. And remember, get started today and you'll save $15 off your first order of ED treatment.
Spring is coming, so plan now to keep those bugs out with Augustine Exterminators. Now is the time to establish and or maintain a barrier around your house. Don't let it break down. At Augustine Exterminators, they have you covered. Augustine is a family-owned local business since 1966. All of their techs are certified in both Missouri and Kansas. In fact, check out their amazing reviews from all their KC area customers. They're also a Quality Pro and Green Pro company. Augustine also does carpet, rug, air duct, and tile cleaning. They have an excellent referral program as well. Refer a new customer, and you and they get $25 off their next service. That's right. Refer a friend, and you both get $25 off your next service. Shop and buy local with Augustine Exterminators. Call Augustine Exterminators today at 913-359-8627 or go online at AugustineExterminators.com. And Augustine is looking for qualified technicians. Call today at 913-359-8627. 913-359-8627.
This is Almost Entirely Sports with Joshua Brisco on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
I was just scrolling through my Twitter again so I could screenshot the Relax Shock Jock guy because it's just the most total non sequitur of a response I've ever seen. It's just unbelievable.
Ooh, can we get a T-shirt that just says "Relax Shock Jock"? On
Yes. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely, yes. I want that, absolutely.
Good idea, Gunner down.
But I was just scrolling through my responses to find other responses, to find that guy's response. And all the other ones are like, why are you panicking? There's still a draft. Stop panicking. Why is everyone panicking?
Is there a draft?
There is a draft.
Cool.
No one, I don't know how you're getting panic from any of this. Like, evaluation.
Have they heard you talk?
No, they're just reading the tweet. But, like, evaluation.
No, have they heard you talk? You always sound panicked.
Evaluation is not panic. I literally wrote a column up that went up on Arrowhead Report. The first words are "don't panic," comma, I think it's "but do worry" or something.
But panic.
I can't, yeah. You know what? Hey, panic. Everybody, panic. You're right. The AFC West is over. The Chiefs dynasty ended after one win.
There's shrimp tails in our cereal.
Our pets' heads are falling off.
Into our cereal.
Into our cereal boxes. Bye, Mom.
You are listening to Almost Entirely Sports with Joshua Brisco on Sports Radio 810 WHB.
Vanderbilt is your work boot center. Vanderbilt carries all the best brands in work. Keen